Sexy. Sexy now. Hello, boys and girls. Good morning. Oh, what the hell? Happy Monday. Child, that charger tried to kill me. Did y'all see my... Hold on. I should have had it here. It's too traumatizing now. Maybe I should just wait till the rest of the class gets here. Come on in. Come on in. Wait for the rest of the class to get here. Like my shirt, 92%. Can you see it? Can you see the 92%? Right? Tried to tell them. Every time I see another broadcast, now they said ICE was in Hoboken, shutting it down over the weekend. I'll wait. Let me go on Instagram and get the wayward over here where they're supposed to be. For the last hour, I've been watching Will Smith's friend Bilal drop alleged dime. And, what happened? Drop dime on Will Smith and Jada and the drugs and the baby oil and the child sexual essay. And what a way to wake up. Good morning, lovies. Hi, Fendi Flavors. Elaine Williams said Jersey City is not having it. Your mayors need to stand up and do something and not just press conferences. That's how you know who your mayors are down with. Good morning, people on the IG Live. Can you please come over to YouTube, Pink Champs channel, so we can get this thing going? I've got a podcast interview today. So I have a lot of time. I have a lot of time for bonus hours. Happy Monday. Come on over. Come on over to the YouTube channel, people. That's where we are. And we don't start until we have everybody here, 100, and we're golden. Right now we're at 30. And I see 30 in here. YouTube, good morning. Chevelle, good morning. Taylor Made. Hey, Taylor Made. Clay and Mrs. Clay, hello, good morning. Please come on over. YouTube, just like any other app, just press YouTube and go to Pink Champs, the channel. Hopefully some of you guys caught the Queens Flippin' Friends episode that me and Shampoo partook in Thursday. This Thursday will be another episode. We'll see how that goes. If you saw it and you have opinions, I really don't give a fuck, but you can share them. But I'm telling you, I really don't care. Michael Jones Jr., good morning. Tamiko Marie, good morning. Hi, Jada J. Yeah, fortunately for you, Jada J, it was the other Jada. Jada Pinkett. Too much. So the guy Bilal, I guess, was Will Smith's best friend, associate, confidant, or maybe just personal assistant. And he's just running tape. And supposedly when he first started talking, Jada threatened with a lawsuit. The lawsuit never came. So he threatened back that if you don't sue, I'm suing. Brashear Gray, Hakeem from Empire is involved. Supposedly Hakeem was essayed by, why am I doing this way? Hold on. I have a whole, like a real set of eyeglass things. Brashear Gray was involved, and supposedly, allegedly, that's why he had his mental break, and we haven't heard from him anymore. Diddy's name comes up, of course, it always does when children in the arts are involved. And Meek Mill's name comes up as also having been essayed, or maybe not essayed, but involved, perhaps willingly. So this guy Bilal, okay, the mayor's office is coming logging in this morning. What? How you made it? Better than you. Hold on. They need the link. Hold on, guys. I have to send them the link. That's so annoying. Come on over, IG, please, to the Pink Gym, because I got to shut it down. All right, here we go. Good morning, everybody. Come on in, grab your seat. Make sure before you sit down, you like and subscribe. Good morning. So I'm going to be on a big podcast this afternoon. I don't want to say the name, but I did do some research. He's slightly controversial, definitely out there. You guys that are in that world have probably have heard of it. I don't want to talk about it until I've actually done it. Because number one, I don't need nobody popping up. And number two, I don't need nobody popping up. But he's had some controversial with certain people. So I'm glad I did some research. Because I don't want to be walking in and then having to walk back out. But so it should be interesting, to say the least. So come on over to the YouTube, please, people. All right, we're up to 52. I'll give you a little more time. Come on, everybody, settle down. We just come out the gate, giddy, with the essay talk and the. I guess this is what people want to hear about, but I'm like, y'all don't got enough going on in y'all own lives trying to protect y'all families from what's really going on in the world. I saw a video of a victim who said, if you don't hear from me, it's because I've been killed, because I am a victim of the Epstein, and she's naming names. And I think some files were released because I see people posting. But because you never know what's AI nowadays and what's not, you don't know quite what to believe, at the very least, what not to repost. It's just a lot. I feel like the demons are out and they're out. And once they let that demon back in office, that was it. Now all the demons feel the energy of acceptance, so they're all unleashed. Good morning, Reginald. Nice to see you. Thank you for the donation this morning. Hey, Lala. Everybody say good morning to my sister Lala from Allure. She's always here, steady, 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 holding me down. Hi, Tranquil. Hi, Kenya. Mo Better Radio was here. And Michael Jones Jr., who watched the Grammys last night, Lawyer Bay, and she'll be joining us to do a full Grammys breakdown at 8 a.m. The man that was running for Brooklyn Borough President, who I've become friends with, Kyrie Edwards, he's going to be joining us this morning. His wife just became Mandami's number 2, I think. Right? Mike Sean is going to be joining us at 8:30 this morning. I think we only have him for a good 30 minutes. Niggas only give you 30 when you're not on the terrestrial radio, but it's okay. Baby steps. And from the new, what do I call it? The New York City Chief Equity Officer and Commissioner of the New York City Mayor's Office of Equity and Racial Justice, Afia Atamensah, is going to be joining us. And she's excited to be calling because she's a listener from back Hot 97 days. So it's nice to be able to see how you guys have grown and have just moved into your professions. Come on, people, come on over to the YouTube, please, Pink Champs, so we can get started. And then we're meeting up in our grownness, right? She was probably a little girl then, maybe not. Maybe she's my age. I don't know, but she listened, and she's happy to that the mayor's office set it up. They're definitely keeping their word to stay. He wanted to come on Pix 11 with me last week before the snowstorm, but unfortunately, I haven't been back because I'm waiting for a new supervisor and my new marching orders. And then y'all know me, I get disinterested real fast. So, but at least he's keeping his word. You know what I mean? Mondami is trying to touch the people, especially the folks of color. It's a new day, white people. It's a new day, white folks. Good morning, Dwayne. Oh my goodness, I got to tell you all about the almost fire. This is do you see this? This is the extender that I had. And it was actually fine. I still have another one right there. It wasn't really the extender. I'll tell you what happened. I almost died. And got the imprint of the sheet, which means it was for you. Like, I'm not tampering with evidence. This is insane. This is insane as to why. Do you wonder why the mattress didn't go up in flames? Or was this not enough fire for it to go up? Have fires happened for less? Then that means I'm doing the Lord's work. That's what that means. That I'm a testimony and he knows that I'm doing his work, so he's keeping me alive. This makes no sense. Ilon Law, come on over to the YouTube channel, Pink Champs, please, so we can start. We're at 80 folks. We just need 20 more. And it's about 15 in here. Come on, top dogs. Hey, Pudgy, good morning. Who's over here? Hey, good morning, Kim. I watched the Grammys and have some insight about the winners. Che Bell, yeah, I don't watch the Grammys. All that shit is fake. All that is labels paying money. It's a scam. Did you guys not see the woman that used to be on the Grammy committee? And she did a whole interview about how rigged it is every year, rig after rig. It's about the labels paying for their artists to be featured and win awards because that translates into record sales. So not really interested. Hi, Chip Disc. Are you in here causing confusion? Talking about we frozen. Let it go. Let it go. Natalie Lubin, I'm sorry you can't get your time back. Natalie says she watched most of the Grammys. Child, please, I can't be bothered. I'm glad you finally made it here, Reg. Come on over, people. We're at 81. We need 100 to start. Pink Champs, the Pink Champs, the show on YouTube. Come on, and settle in. Like and subscribe. Thank you for the super chat. Not using any audio. Kim, I'm sorry you went through all of that, but not using any audio because you get copyright strikes. And copyright strikes means no monetization. And what's the purpose? Hi, Melanie Barnes. Good morning. Thank you, Elaine. Elaine started the lunch offering plate. She's passing it around. What that is we take donations, none are too small. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see Zelly and Cash App, just for lunch for the kid or dinner. Friday, I was able to get lunch and dinner. John says, how about Cher and Luther Vandross? Not aware. Someone will have to say something in the chat because I'm not watching Grammy stuff. Ulysses, good morning. Thank you. Giddy's here. Everybody say good morning to Giddy. Giddy's the backup. Did you guys finish your homework? Did you do your assignments over the weekend? Good morning, DeWood. Ray Boogie, Global. Can you guys come over and join us on the YouTube? Mo Better Blues. Good morning. Pink Champ, the show is the channel. We're at 90. We just need 10 more and I'll start. And I've got lots of notes. That's what I do. Get my notes out. Playing around with y'all. So I've been watching Ebro and whatever the other people's names are. Rosenberg and I don't even know the girl. And it feels a little like the reason they initially gave for getting fired is changing. I'm not that girl that expects you to pick or choose a show because we all bring different things. But, and this is why I feel like, and maybe it's because I've been fired so many times that now I know, now I know what it is. You don't jump out immediately because you're angry or because you're hurt or because you're confused. You don't jump out there declaring this is what it is. You know what I mean? Because you're always going to look back and look at yourself and say, wow, I was emotional. And maybe that's not quite what it was. Sometimes you have to sit back, even though you might be right. But you have to sit back. Guys, come over to the Pink Champ channel, please, on YouTube so we can get started. Like, subscribe, and we can get this thing going. We need only 6 people. But I saw him saying something about they had a group chat, just a private group chat. Him, the people on the show, Shawnee, who used to run the board for me back in the day, Sideshow Bob, we used to call him. And that Shawnee's not responsive, right? Well, that goes along with, in my many experiences of being let go, that goes along with staying true to the institution. I don't know if Shawnee got let go as well. I'm assuming, all right, we're at 101. Guys, I'll check you later. If you want more of this, you got to come over here, YouTube, Pink Champs, the show. We got a whole lineup this morning. We got great show to give. So please come join us. If not, I understand. Not really, but I'll see you. I'll catch you on the rebound. Because I got a show to do. Baby, I got a show to do. Should I save that live? Or is that going to take people away from coming over here, watching that bullshit? Right? Yeah, no. I'll discard it and come back later. Is Tracy in here? Oh boy. All right. So, all right, is everyone settled in? All right, we're at 112. All right, let's go. Good morning, people. Welcome, 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 welcome. So, yeah, I have a lot to say about the Hot 97 situation, but when you leave, when you get left, sometimes people that you work with that remain have something called survivor's remorse, and they don't know how to respond. Some people are afraid that if they respond to you, then they could be next, which is kind of survivor's remorse. Some people are secretly happy that you're gone because they've been oppressed and couldn't be who they wanted to be. Good morning, Asia. And yeah, rave. Yep. And some people just move on with their lives and never cared. And you have to understand that some friends are just work friends, and some people you wind up still being friends with. So I say that to say that even though I believe that Ebro supported me, what he's getting now is the full circle karma for how he manipulated his way into my seat onto Hot 97. Him and Rosenberg. That was all a plot and a scheme. And I had so much going on in my life at that time, because when I left, I was fine with leaving because I still have the Philly. I was syndicated. And I was 7 months, 8 months pregnant. So I was totally fine going 95 South, which is an easier drive, especially when I was living down in Jersey Shore, than coming up north, right? But it's just like a full karma. It just bewilders me how people, just because you don't acknowledge someone fucking you around, and you don't bring it up, and you don't hang your hat on it every time you see them, and you don't go into a tirade every time their name is brought up, and you still can be friendly or you still can do business with them, that you ain't forget. But I guess they've convinced themselves that since I never made a big stink about how the manipulation to take over my morning show happened, that it wasn't a big deal. And like, so at some point, I'm getting all the way into that. And I don't know if it's going to be on Pink Champs. I don't know if it's going to be on Clear My Name. I don't know if it's going to be on Queens Flippin' Friends. I don't know. But what I do know is that I'm getting it off of me and I'm getting it out. And, since y'all want to be addressing things and pointing fingers, and it's going to start with me to y'all. And then we're going to end with how you destroyed New York artists and the whole that we used to have. And now any and everybody's just coming in, taking that station over, doing and saying whatever, non-New York shit. And we, non-exclusive of the newbies, Ebro and them, even though they've been there for 15 years, we, me, the Angies, the Flex, the Ed Lovers, the ones that actually built that station, that is not what we built it for. Not for the takeover. So, all right, my first guest has arrived. You guys remember him. He used to pop up on Jonesy when I was in the institution, the establishment. Kyrie Edwards, my favorite Brooklyn Borough president.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm cold. I'm cold.
Why?
Because it's cold.
Okay.
And I think we were talking last night. I had a fire in my house in 2018, and they didn't really insulate the walls. So, yeah, when it hits a certain temperature, it's still cold.
Who's responsible for that? Shouldn't they have had to come back and do it properly?
Yeah, but I don't know. I think I would have went to jail because this guy, somebody said the con and contractors are real. So I'm like, but I'm gonna call somebody today because this is getting too crazy.
Well, all
Still
you're gonna have
blessed.
to do is roll over and tap a shoulder and say, "When you get to work today."
Yeah, yeah. You listen. If I could catch up to her, yo, I see her in the. I think I'm up earlier than her today, but normally she's out before we get up. But you know,
This is a very powerful household, ladies and gentlemen. For those
it,
of you that don't know, tell them what your wife's new position is.
yeah. So my wife is the director of intergovernmental relations for City Hall under the leadership of Mayor Zoran Mamdani, and so she is. I think I rank her somewhere like the fourth most powerful person. She has to deal with all the elected officials, all the agencies, the federal government, the city government, the state government. So kind of excited. Kind of excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm happy that it's someone I know second degree, and also that it's a girl
Yeah.
power.
Yeah. You know what's funny? They're not a there is an equal balance, I think,
Hmm.
but there's probably more 60-40 women in this administration than men, if maybe even not 730. But I mean, look, women run the world, so I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
So what's been going on with you though?
Wow. So after the election, I lost my job. Cannabis has changed from a black facing supporting to very white people want their money and they don't care about us type of thing. And now it's like I was trying to still figure it out, still praying on it, Jonesy, still praying to figure out what my next steps are. But I fell into what I think is one of the most beautifully rewarding jobs. And so I'm teaching civics as an enrichment program in about 9 schools, going around doing the things that you did for me, just in terms of educating our community on what's an elected official, what the different positions are. And these students, scholars are amazing. Like, we changed the dynamic of, oh, I'm running for president and vice president, treasurer, to I'm running for mayor and controller and public advocate. And they have just fallen in love with knowing what their government is. And so we're at the stage where we're now literally having them do committee work. And so they're trying to do legislation and help change their community. So, a friend of mine said I'm gonna have to get the Nation of Islam to protect me because I'm educating Black and brown kids, but it's really a place where I feel really good about it. Just gotta try to monetize it so I can keep paying my bills. But other than that, I'm okay.
Yeah, that's good. And listen to me. The work that you're doing, you'll be protected. Nation of Islam is wonderful, but you'll be good. And I love that the kids at that age, they're like sponges, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Could you imagine if we had gotten that information instead of being outside playing Skelsy and
yeah,
and
yeah. I
kicking
mean,
can?
I ran. I think I ran for president of my class and I lost. So maybe this is my third time losing. But anyway, you know,
Shut up, that don't count.
but I realized that it was just because people didn't really make it a thing or didn't inform us about a thing. And really now what's going on is, these kids, in order to run, they have to build a team. So I have to hire Ms. Jones as my campaign manager, and I have to hire someone else as my treasurer. And now we have the entire school enjoying the process versus kind of like, oh, Ms. Jones is popular, so she's running for president, and it's just she's gonna win. So now it's like, even though you're gonna win, you got to bring other people on to help you win. So it's been fun. It's been
And the
fun.
fact, again, learning so young, this means that when they get to college, they'll already know Robert's rules. They'll already know how
Yeah.
government and how it's stacked and how it works and who has the power. Although, what's going on with our Congress? Like, everybody wakes up every day going, why is this happening? Why is ICE just violating and no warrants needed and just able to run rimshot? Isn't that Congress's job to shut them down?
Yeah, if we had a Congress that was supposed to do its checks and balances, right? So folks don't realize that Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats, no matter how much crap we give them, they don't have any power. And because we didn't elect them in. And so now the issue is they're in the minority, the majority rules. And so, Mike Johnson, who is the Speaker of the House, is, one of Trump's, like, I don't know what happened. What do you call it when people possess you? Because I think that's what it is. Like, these guys are possessed, but he's one
I
of his
think that they just
minions.
have secrets and they don't want their secrets. I think they were all involved with Epstein. I think that Hakeem and them took money from APEC, and I think that they've been compromised, and the rest of them are in the Epstein files. So they're all running scared for their lives, and I think that Trump is threatening them.
Yeah, right, because they
If I
probably
get exposed, we all get exposed. That
right.
Trump.
I guess they're all in the hot tub together, right? Was it a hot tub? Somehow. But yeah, but I think part of the reality of it is that those who have are okay. Even though I'm complaining about the coldness of my house, I have a house, versus those who don't have, and that's who government is supposed to protect. And even though Hakeem and them are doing their best to try to protect those, the reality of it is they're not in the majority. And so there's no checks and balances. It's never going to be until somebody votes them out or in, whatever that's going to turn out to be. So I think that's where it is. And ICE is getting out of control for real. And there's no moral aptitude for these guys. I really think that their people are possessed. I think they're demonly possessed, because I don't understand how you kidnap kids, kill people, and you get to go home and sleep.
Yeah. And a lot of them are Latino.
Yeah.
A lot of them are Latino and Proud Boys, but a lot, or at least the ones whose faces are being exposed, are Latinos. I said we needed that turn up, so now white folks can experience what we've been experiencing and the fears we've been having of our children not coming home at night, so they can experience it.
Right.
Because it's not enough to send thoughts and prayers and continue on in your daily do.
Right.
Now you want to be marching, and now you want us to march with you. We ain't marching with you.
And you know what, too, to your point, I don't even know if it still leaves that, oh, I feel bad for them thing, right? Because the reality of it is they're not really snatching their kids anyway. So it still comes back down to the fact of, oh my God, I can't believe this happened in my neighborhood. But what are you really doing about it? Because it's still not there. And speaking about the Latinos, which is very interesting, right? If you see Trump's majority of targeting are Latinos, because Latinos are the largest growing demographic in this country. And they assumed in about 4 or 5 years, they will have more voting power than white folks. And so it's still a play. It's still like these guys are still playing a different game. And you have your own taking out your own, right? Just like how we have the Judas and the Black Messiah, they taking out their own. And so this
is Kyrie Edwards, for those of you just joining us. Kyrie Edwards, my Brooklyn borough president, and he used to come on my show a lot, and we talked about D theft. That was one of his platforms of which he was running. You guys are seeing the videos, because I'm seeing the videos of these people who we are now finding are being terrorized, losing their properties that have been in their households for 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
To these corrupt realtors, judges are involved, police are even involved. And it's been a well-oiled scheme. Can you briefly tell us what it was you've been trying to tell us?
Yeah, I mean, we hide information in plain sight, and the reality of it is that when Miss Mabel down the street loses her home because someone says she didn't pay her taxes, and then somebody else starts paying her taxes, or she's getting mail in her house that doesn't have her name on it, the reality of that's the process that just started. And so the number one economic system for people of color specifically is to buy a home and own a home. And when they want to take something from you, that's what they do. They take your home. So deed theft and tax lien sales and anything that, when economics comes in a place that we can't keep up with our bills, someone comes and takes what is yours. And not only do they take it, they already have equity in your house. So Miss Mabel's house, when she bought it in 1963, 73, was $10,000. Now it's $2.3 million. And when they take her house from right up under her because she missed a payment here or there, or she's not able to check her mail, they come in and they move you out. So she comes back from a grocery store and somebody's standing in front of our house talking about it's my house now. And there's no recourse. There's been no real way of saving folks. And even though the elected officials are putting like $5 million into a bill to protect folks, it doesn't stop the fact that this thing is just sitting there.
So somebody literally can be behind, say you're behind $5,000 in a water bill, and someone can do a search of people who are behind or delinquent in bills, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those people are guilty. And then they go and they pay the bill. And because they pay the bill, they now get the property.
Right. So they pay the bill. And then at the point that you can't pay them back, they're like, well, I have the first lien on your house, so I own your crib. And then you're stuck, and then they turn around and they'll give you $50,000 to get out because you're never going to make up for that $5,000. And it's wild because folks are losing their house because remember, you now got to pay a lawyer, you got to do all of these things, And so what I would love to do is introduce you to this woman, Blanche, who really has a story. I'll send you to YouTube of like how they came for her home, and she fought tooth and nail, and like now she has a small coalition to kind of just inform people. But it's really just a lack of information. We don't pay attention to stuff.
We don't, but it's always these crooked ass white people that's always plotting and fucking scheming.
Yeah.
First you convince us, oh, well, you come into the hoodest of hoods and you try and front like you have the purest intention, when you know all along you guys are used to just coming into places that you're not occupying, taking over, changing the rules on us, and then getting us out. Gentrification.
Yeah, but it's even deeper, right? So say, somebody white moves into your neighborhood. I think they move in with the intention of like, hey, I'm here to just move in. But what somebody else does, somebody with more money, they look at him like, oh, they're not bothering this person. Let me start to see how I can build up that community and start buying out people or knocking on people's doors. And so it's even our own doing it too. It's just that we don't do it as well as they do, but it's bad.
It's and the bad judges be down with it. The judges know that what they're doing is wrong. And then the chief of police, they be down with it too.
Yeah. And the thing with the judges, it's because they follow the law. It's not like all of them are down with it. There are some, right? But they can't do anything. The laws are made specifically that, Black people are still always going to get the plunger and without the lube, and it's real. So we have to stay, vigilant in terms of being 10 times ahead of everybody else. But it's hard. You come home, you got to fix food for your kids. You got other stuff going on. Oh, I'll wait and read my mail next week, and by the time you read your mail next week, somebody already got your house 2 months ago, and it's bad business, man. But the more we keep ringing the alarm, I think people start to pay attention to it.
Yeah, after how many people have lost their family homes, though.
Yeah.
And then you can't even, everybody hasn't gone through the proper channels. Right. This is what I'm saying. I see them little curlies on the side. They are skipping and falsifying documents and proving, and the homeowner is proving it to the judges, and the judges are still going along because they're getting kickbacks.
Yeah. It's a system.
And who has time to be in a court or searching for lawyers if you can't pay your water bill? Obviously you're working, so you got to be at work.
Right. And it's crazy, right? Somebody may have stole your deed and you still trying to pay a different bill.
Right.
To your point, yeah, Con Ed went up. It's
you can never get ahead. You can never get ahead.
Yeah, it's look, I said, the day that I die, I'm gonna ask God, once I make it to the pearly gates, of course, to be like, yo, what did we do? like what did Black people do? One of my friends joked and said, we were aliens and they don't want us here. So I don't know. It's something that I just don't get for Black folks.
Here's the thing. What I know is that what goes up must come down. This is science.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been 400 plus years for us. But guess what, baby? We're sitting back and watching Uno reverse right now.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
We are watching white folks, the Puerto Ricans that wanted the I Bilbo, for Donald Trump. We are watching. Yeah. And how does it feel? How does it feel? You thought you had the luxury of voting or not voting, and then you did. It was so horrible to think of a woman being president, and
Right.
Lord knows don't have any melanin, right? So what did pasty white get you?
And you know, it goes deeper too, because just thinking about the current mayor, right, Mamdani, we have been so conditioned to not trust, right? And the more I get to hear, you know, what goes on the inside, like this young man really wants to do right by people. But when during the election, all of these things, we're so conditioned, one, that change hurts, and two, that we can't trust something new. But interestingly enough, like hearing how his new is really pure and cares about people, it I feel bad doubting, right? I feel bad doubting, but I realize I'm conditioned to not trust. And I think that's what happens to a lot of us. We're conditioned to not trust. And so you see, oh, it's too good to be true. And thank God I'm hearing what's going on the inside, but Lord knows, like, folks are trying to make sure he fails by doing the same things just because they don't want this particular person in. And, you know, I was guilty about that in the beginning as well. And it's really interesting to kind of have to reverse that thought process.
The growth, right, of checking yourself and asking yourself why. What did he do so wrong so quickly?
Right.
That's applaudable. Wait, I do have applause. Hold on. That's definitely applaudable. And it's okay. You don't even have to, y'all don't have to say it out loud when you acknowledge it. With New Yorkers, we're used to doubting. Come
Right.
on, we're the biggest hustlers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we are coming off of some little shady mayoral behavior the past 4 or 5 mayors.
Right.
So
Right.
don't go giving your trust away. And he still got work to do. Now, what I'd like, I don't know if you could send a message back. Well, you know what? I can, because Afia is going to be calling in this morning.
Listen, that's my girl, yo. I love her. I love her.
For those of you wondering who Afia is, Afia Atta Mensah is the New York City Chief Equity Officer and Commissioner of the Mayor's Office of Equity and Racial Justice. And she grew up listening to Jonesy and wanted to come on. So the mayor's office reached out, and I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. Just make sure Z Bugs, that's what I call Mandami, that he knows he got to do it. He got to do a check-in from time to time too. But what was I going to say about the trusting? Oh, but Z Bugs got to watch his mouth, because I'm noticing every time he speaks now, he's leading with comparison of the past. It's you won. You're in the seat now. You got to stop bringing up what Eric Adams didn't do. Because brother,
nah. I gotta disagree with you on this. So I'll tell you, right?
Don't leave. We got to just do what you do.
No, but he got to, right? Because one thing about all of these past mayors, even Eric, right? They have this statesmanship behavior where they're not saying Bill de Blasio left me with this and now I'm here. Or Bill de Blasio didn't say Bloomberg left me with this, that I'm here. And so what happens is you spend the first year or two of your career undoing what someone did that was unjust. So even that mayoral thing, where the mayoral, the debt we have, the $12 billion debt. Look, I love Eric, man. Eric looked out for me in so many great ways, right? But yo, he left a lot of stuff going. And so you have to say, look, this ain't mine. I didn't do it. And so again, it's something different that we're not used to, but he had to. He has to say, though, this is what I was left with, because so many elected officials don't do that.
No, they all do. That's why I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm like, bruh, if you don't see what's going on right now and read the freaking room, we don't care. We know who left the mess. We know that nigga was down in Turkey doing whatever. We know he was for the streets. That was the biggest joke, because we all knew you could find him in a club. You could find him in a lounge. We knew. So don't waste time explaining, nigga. We know. Now what you want to do? Because what I heard was that Cars last week were pointed at, parked diagonally and couldn't move because buses couldn't get through the blocks. And your people called saying you wanted to come on and talk about the snow, and the call never came. So focus on day-to-day shit that's going to help people move through their navigation, work, school, all that. Focus on that and stop telling us shit we already know. We know what he left behind.
Yeah, but that 12 billion is that's dangerous, man.
Just
Like,
fix it. Just fix it if you can.
yeah.
I don't care how you fix it. Just fix me if you can.
But yeah, you know, that one, you know, you and I will just slightly disagree on because they say it, but they're not real with it. And what he did promise was transparency. And that transparency was like, yeah, we walked in thinking we had $6 billion in debt with 12, like, and that's 12 billion. And you know what that means? That means services get cut, all these things. And so if he was hiding the money, somebody gotta be like, yo, he was hiding the money. And so,
all right, well, say it, but then do something. Don't just spend the whole thing, the talking point.
Right. Well, that's real, right? Solutions, yeah.
So we can agree that he can say that, he can acknowledge that, but he also got to put some action and move it forward.
Yeah.
And personally, if he had been listening to Jonesy, he would have known that $6 billion, the way we used to expose Eric, that $6 billion most likely is not $6 billion. Most likely, like.
Yeah. Yo, those are the days. Yo, listen, you got to get a lot of us on these calls now because we you really were truth to power in that reality, and folks don't realize that what you were doing, you opening up that political side of conversation, has done so much because it's literally, like I said, what we're doing in schools. People don't know, if people don't have this forum to hear it. They walk around their daily day and they don't realize. They're like, yeah, my crosswalk is not covered, but yeah, they don't realize I'm about to, you know, take a beating because $12 billion.
Now, I thank you. And I feel like I'm required to do that. You know what I mean? I spent years being on radio and doing foolishness and gossiping and carrying on. But at this point, I think and people are like, oh, I miss Messy Jonesy. Sometimes I do too, but we ain't got time to fuck around with mess right now, or we'll never be able to get back and have genuine laughs and genuine light fare. If we don't stop for a moment and get down with the get down and have the real conversations, because let me tell you something, these institutions with these broadcast channels, they don't want it.
No,
they're secretly happy that things are moving Trump's way. So they are silencing. It's not a coincidence that New York morning radio, at least the strong polarizing voices, were all wiped out at the same time at the end of the
year. Yeah. And what's crazy is that is the place where we wake up and we listen, because we listen to the weather, we get our morning coffee, and we listen to Jonesy and Ebro tell us about what's really going outside, because most of us ain't got time to be on our Instagram and social media. So you guys are our pulse. And it's sad that you succumb to something in a way where it's crazy. But, you know.
It's just because they hire these kowtowing, tap dancing Negroes that can interview well, but they don't care about the culture. They too care about taking care of their family. And don't get me wrong, we all need to focus on that. But don't pretend that you want to be this and you want to embrace the 90s and don't pretend. Don't pretend.
Yeah, it's a demographic pull, which you control more than any other human being is controlled in my lifetime. And the reality of it is that information is key. And so, you know, I'm looking at you like Joy Reid right now. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, please, no. The bar is so... No.
Joy's dope, though. Joy...
she is. She's it. Don't put me in. Don't sell me the joy with the pain.
Don't sell yourself short, girl. Like, this is... All you need is a couple more months, because literally the same process that happened to her has happened to you, and now you've pivoted, and folks are going to be tuning in in a way that you will never probably even realize, because information is still key. We desire information. We desire in a way. When you getting her on, that's when you got to reach out, DM Joy Reid, get her on.
I will. I have a list. Look, I got a full day today. You know, the Grammys were yesterday. Don Lemon was the star of the weekend. At least he was the star of my weekend.
Yeah,
and I want a husband like his. That is what I want for my birthday this year. Did you see, real quick, because I know you got to jump, but did you see the quickness in first of all, how can the government just right in front of our face move that fast and snatch up a journalist that's on camera saying, I'm not part of the protest. I am here as a journalist, over and over again. And the government was still able to go in, swoop down, make an optic. They knew it wouldn't stick.
Right.
But make an optic, hoping that it would scare other journalists and back them down from giving the people the truth. Go.
Well, again, it's the idiocy of this particular administration, right? Because now what you've done is you've made this gentleman a martyr. And Don Lemon was popular, but he was never this popular. And so now all you're doing is really just changing the narrative the wrong way. Like the same thing what they did in Minnesota. You changed the narrative the wrong way. And so all your stuff isn't secret, And so, yeah, Don had to take the beating for the rest of us, but it's no different than when John Lewis, took the hose back in the days of civil rights, that now all of a sudden, walking across the Pettus Bridge, you're seeing, wow, this is how they're treating people. And now the world's changing. And so if you watch it, it's cycles, and no one learns about the cycles. But Don Lemon is our modern day John Lewis, and how he just got, Willie Bob right in front of all of us. And now we're like, yo, this is craziness.
And they honored him at I think it was the Grammys. They were honoring him. No, Clive Davis had a celebration. Figure that. And he honored Don Lemon. I mean, they're both how you doing. So maybe, but he did deserve to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
In a room of his peers.
Yeah.
Because he could have folded. He could have folded when CNN let him go. He could have folded. CNN tried to make us think. First of all, CNN they made him and Anderson Cooper their poster children. I used to watch CNN 24 hours a day. I remember how I'd be like, wow, they're letting him do that. Wow, they're letting him interview him. Wow. And then suddenly, change of the guard, you're out.
Yeah.
And now there's no Black women on CNN. I said what I said. At least none that can not lose control of their show, Abby. But he went and pivoted, Joy on MSNBC, and Tiffany Cross, who I am a huge fan of. I love Tiffany Cross. Like, believe what you see. The strong Black polarizing voices are being silent, or so they thought. They had no idea that social media was going to give the institutions a run for their money, because now we don't need your institutions.
Right. Because social media is a smarter business model, right? Every click, every turn on is money for them. So they want you to be polarizing. They want you to be you. They want Jonesy to be Jonesy, because you know what? When you are, people listen, people believe, people follow up. And that's what's so crazy about government, how we're not looking at our folks in that way. So here's the interesting thing that you should talk to Afia about, right? Mm-hmm. So Afia and Jamila are like obviously the two head honcho Black women in this administration, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the things that happened was
You're welcome. Go ahead.
So one of the things that I think that they're both going through is the fact that folks are like, well, we need higher positions, right? So why isn't Jamila a deputy mayor, or why isn't Afia higher in the administration? And what our Black people got to realize is that we have folks who are sincere to the cause inside. And the titles, we get so caught up in titles, but realize some of these titles don't have the effectiveness of the role. But what Afia is about to do for equity in our city is life changing. We've never had someone who has that kind of understanding, that wherewithal. And shout out to the young lady who she replaced. But the reality of it is that with an unapologetic voice, like, Fia's blackity black,
So, because there's a difference, right? Let them know.
Yeah. And so, and Jamila's blackity black, right? So it's kind of like when you in the mix of it, we don't realize that a window is nothing compared to the doors that they will open. And
what type of things will she be able to do?
Well, she takes a perspective of the entire racial equity profile of like, yeah, we'll get a commissioner job here, or we'll get some kind of stuff. But again, that's for us in privilege. What about those folks who are making a little bit of money, or those folks who need someone to be like, I need resources in my community, right? That's why Brownsville is still the way that it is because they know they're going to give Brownsville a little bit, they're going to give Park Slope more, right? And so when you're in those positions, now you sit next to the mayor and saying, yo, Brownsville needs 20 million, not 6 million. And that extra 13 million changes community. It changes the way we move.
Absolutely. Because right? I feel like when people don't have to worry about how they're going to feed their families and how they're going to live, they have less edge. They're less angry. They're less combative. There's hopefully less stealing because we're all eating. And that's what nourishes the soil.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and we don't look at community the same. And so in her role, she's looking at the community. She's not just looking at her family or those that have. She's got to look at, that grandma who's not getting her health insurance, or that young child that got to pass through different places to get to school. And that's what the equity is, right? That's what the reality of what her role is. And, I'm excited for her. Yeah, maybe
what about reparations?
Well, she's going to talk about the reparations because there was a reparations bill that was passed by Nikki Lucas in the assembly, and they did a whole reparations equity conversation about it. What's interesting too is that she'll talk about like the mayor didn't want to put out Eric's piece because he needed to do his own research, and they were giving him hell about that. So when we look at each other as Black people, we got to start uplifting each other, and it doesn't necessarily come from titles, right? Because you be the vice president of an organization that have no power, whereas if you're the director, you got more power. And so we should start looking at how the white folks look at us about power and not just about title. So I'm excited for you to be interviewing her. This is so cool. So cool.
No, look, I'm so glad that I have you guys on the same day. I knew I was going to have you last week because we talk all the time, but this came last night and I was like, of course, like what? Yeah. And then when she told me that, she said she was so excited because she listened to you when you were on the other stations and she wants to really have a conversation with you. I want to acknowledge somebody in the live. Queen's Flip's mom, Mama Flip, is here. She says, it's great to see Jonesy on YouTube covering independent media. I've been at it for a year. Now I'm being threatened with jail for talking about DT. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's wild because they'll put you in jail. They'll take everything you have, and then they'll silence you, and they don't realize there's more coming, right? More people are coming. And so that's theft, like anything when it comes down to economics, Ms. Jones, it's real. And if you have it and you trying to spread it to everybody else, they don't want that.
Yeah, right. They want to stay empowered.
Yeah.
That is but what they weren't counting on was the white ICE turning on the white folks who check a lot of boxes, the woman, the gay, the man, and the gun holding man, the legal holding man, right? You weren't counting on that. So how do you reconcile the notion behind that and the optics on that? They lie, they hide, they're stealing. And where them files at, nigga?
Right. Right. And that was such BS too, right? Because Trump was there, but like, did people really care about it until you got to see it in your face? Like, he was on that island. Come on, what I mean?
Other people's, a lot of them. It was something's going on with Clarence Thomas. I think he's about to be impeached. But Anita Hill tried to tell us many, many moons ago.
Mm-hmm.
But you never believe it. Now we have all these victims. Videos are coming out where they're saying, if I disappear, they've been threatening me. It's because I'm dead. But Donald Trump did this to me, and this one did that to me. They're dropping names.
Right. And the messed up thing for Anita Hill is if she was a white woman, then Clarence would have been done. But
but now they showing you they don't give a damn about white women. That's why I said, now watch the rub. Watch what happens now. Because you thought you were protected. You didn't always do as much as you could have done when it was our families under fire and our families just every day getting attacked. It sucks being Black. Oh, I feel so sorry for those Black people and now what's happening to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who can't even stand in the sun without burning. That's the curse. That's the curse.
See, but listen, that's the Miss Jones some folks need. That's the mixy, you know what I mean?
I'm like
subtleties.
That's right. Just little drops of it must be awful not to be able to stand in the sun for more than 5 minutes without getting completely torn out the frame. That's the curse.
It's interesting, right? So we as Black people, I found out my vitamin D was low, but my vitamin D was low. It is low, and so I have to take the supplements. And the lady was like, all you need to go do is sit in the sun and put little olive oil in your belly button and it'll thing. It's not really the case for others. It's not the case for the others.
Right. So even in all that we are going through, I am ancestor built for this, and so are you. And if you are not Black, but you down with our cause, you still ain't coming to the barbecue, but we're not mad necessarily.
Now we'll invite you. Just can't bring food.
Oh, no, we're not inviting. Nope. Sorry.
Even if they're down with the cause?
I'm 92%. You see my shirt? 92%. We told y'all. See my shirt? Ain't nope, they ain't do enough. Kyrie Edwards, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for having me as always. I'm going to be tuning in for Fia. I love it.
We love having you. Don't be a stranger.
Well, listen, I'll take the invite. Y'all have a great, blessed day.
Anybody where they can check you out on Kyrie Radio.
Oh, yes. So I'm on Irie Jam Radio, www.iriejamradio.com every Sunday at 7 p.m. And it's the Carry On Show. What else?
Yes, come on, Carry On. I love it. Thanks, Bo. Have a good day.
You too. I'm excited. I'll be watching for the rest of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
What time is she coming on?
She's coming on at 8:55.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll be here.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
See you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
And next up, ladies and gentlemen, is our friend that she's been consistently coming on. I told you she is a beast. She's a young attorney from Houston, Texas, and she is so in the culture that we bring her up. She breaks down what's going on in our crazy social media world, and she is here again today. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Good morning, baby.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm blessed. We alive. You know, in spite of everything that's going on, we here today.
So look, the Grammys happened yesterday. I don't know if you watch the award shows. Do you have any outstanding moments that you want to talk about?
Outstanding, I would say Tyler, the Creator. His performance was everything. And I don't listen to his music. His album, this last album I did listen to and had some good moments from some of his songs, but overall his performance was, to me, the best performance of the Grammys. It was very creative. It was very intentional. No stone was left unturned. And he put on an amazing performance. And I like how every artist used their platform to speak on what's going on.
Good. I'm glad. And I'm glad that they were not silenced or muted on that.
That's the beauty of being live. That's
right.
the beauty of being alive.
Although they could shoot the commercial, but I'm glad that
Yeah.
I still have a little bit of hope for some of the people over there on that network, even though I see what they're trying to do. What is the Nicki Minaj? I mean, I saw a clip of Trevor Noah taking jabs at Nicki not being there. Is it true that the gold card that was given to her, that the White House made a statement soon thereafter that it was just a memento and that she does not have citizenship?
That is correct. You cannot forego the actual process in order to become a legal documented citizen of the United States. Now, what she is claiming is residency. It's a different requirement, and it doesn't. It has different processes to go through. Now, what I will tell you is Trump issued an executive order when he got into office regarding being able to issue permanent resident status to illegal undocumented immigrants who are some of his friends. And he put a price on it. He put a bounty on you being able to receive this. You got to pay to play. You got to pay to live here. And one thing that she is so dumb about, her and her legal team and whoever, once an executive order, once a new
regime comes
in, they can rescind every executive order that the previous president had in place. So
just like that, like there's no 90-day period or
just instantly.
Wow.
Now, what I can tell you also about this process is the Constitution cannot be modified. Him modifying the Constitution regarding immigrant status, is legally insufficient. It is against the Constitution, and it's committing federal crimes.
But who holds him accountable? It seems like we all know it's illegal and no one does shit.
We can't hold him accountable until he gets out of office. That's
why we have to primary the fuck out of him.
That's the reason why. Yeah, that process too. When we're talking about individuals being bribed and receiving special treatment, Nicki Minaj will never be able to get legal status here because her husband is a documented criminal, as well as has to register as a sex offender every year until he leaves this earth. So he would not be able to apply for a green card to grant her legal permanent status or let her becoming a citizen of the United States. So she didn't have that avenue to go through, because if she did, they would have went their way. But you have to be so clean. Your person has to be so clean that it's no question that they should afford you the ability to be a U.S. citizen here.
And your people around you, like your husband and everything, your whole unit has to be clean.
Well, just your husband. Just your husband. They do checks on who you're associated with, but if your husband is applying for the green card for you, your husband has to be clean, and he is one of the dirtiest husbands in that's married to a celebrity. So I don't feel bad for her on that front, and I don't feel bad if, when this is over for this this administration, that she gets investigated by the feds, as possibly charged if any money was transferred over for wire fraud, bank fraud,
wow,
money laundering. Yeah. And guess what? She's not gonna be able to get permanent status at that point. They're gonna deport her ass, and she do need to be deported.
Wow, that's crazy. And while we're speaking of crazy stuff, do you have any opinion one way or another about this guy named Bilal that was working friends with Will Smith, and allegedly he has proof that Will Smith and Dwayne Martin and Diddy obviously were few of the men that were essaying Brashear Gray from Empire, and the reason behind why he crashed out. And even though Jada Pinkett threatened to sue, she hasn't sued, and that there just was they're saying that the son was involved, Jaden was involved in all those sex parties allegedly. A lot of little young boys in Hollywood, including but not limited to Justin Bieber, and that Will Smith's hands are dirty under the guise of offering a mentorship.
Here's the thing, and I tell people this all the time. When you decide to take it public, you need to make sure in your public display that you also produce receipts, because you get a window of opportunity to come after individuals who have major influence. I always tell people you have to do the work on the back end before you come to the front with anything. And what I mean by that is make sure your investigation, make sure you have documentations, you have evidence, you have receipts that can back up any and everything that you need, because you got to be careful, because you think people that are talking to you behind the scenes is going to have your back. You're going to be out here swimming by yourself. And what if you are swimming without a vest on because everybody else decided to stay on ground? So I always caution people when they come out about things is to make sure you have done the heavy lifting on the back end before you bring it to the front, because it will appear to be disingenuous and looking for a moment, and you may very well be telling the truth. However, you get one bite at the apple, just like in the court, you get one bite at the apple, you get one bite at the apple. And that's the same. And for example, Christian Keys. When Christian Keys did this whole spectacle of going live and
airing out that actor saying he showed up high every day on the set. Is that the part you're talking about?
No, I'm talking when he first came out about this highly known person in the industry that has a very distinct voice that was attempting to have relations with him, but he's not that type. He came out with this in December 2023. And he said that he was going to release the name. I knew who he was alluding to, which was TP. But he never came back out and cleared it up. Now, every time he comes out, everybody always have that same question. You wasted our time with this whole spectacle, and you very well may be telling the truth, because it's clear that the pattern, based on the individuals who could be using the pattern that you're talking about, but you missed the window of opportunity, and now we question everything that comes out of your mouth when it comes to that situation.
Right. That's why I'm like, even if this guy Bilal, if everything he's saying is true, I'm questioning, why would you sit back and let another kid be essayed? Why would you hold back the information when you first saw, and he told you, please don't say nothing, but Charlie Mack forced me to do X, Y, and Z, and Will's been doing this to me. You held it to weaponize it or to use it as leverage later on. So now while I want to believe, I don't know if I can.
Yeah, I'm going to have to let him figure out how he wants to put it out in more context and more detail, but I wouldn't even recommend him doing that, because that's when lawsuits come into play, because you can't use hearsay from a third party to validate why you're coming out and making these statements.
Although he said that he is coming out with a lawsuit, I think he's suing Jada for $3 million. And her lawsuit that she was screaming about 2-3 years ago, it never launched. All I know is where there's smoke, there's fire. So
I
something's
believe
going
it. Yeah, I believe when people threaten lawsuits, I don't take it. I'm like, if you got to threaten, that means you are scared.
Right. Just go and do the paperwork.
Exactly. Nobody comes out and say, "Oh, I'm finna sue." They go and do it.
Yep. It's a lot that goes along with that too. Usually you have to be papered up unless you just find a lawyer that's your friend or has time, because that's a lot of filing and a lot of filing fees.
It's a lot of work when you're talking about that type of case which he's alluding to. But he's more so when people do that, they do it from a standpoint of, you think I won't do it? You think that meat ain't greasy? Like he's trying to create a moment to where, oh, now they believe me and they're going to come back to the table and be complicit in and boy, listen. Keep it off of the internet until you are ready to go and file that petition and then come talk.
That's what I say. Keep it quiet and let the paperwork speak for itself. One last thing I want to talk to you about. Sha'Carri Richardson, I saw a video of her being pulled over by a cop, and she was doing 124, I think. And you ain't never supposed to be doing that unless you're in a car race. But I mean, like a real track. But the cop was just very dismissive. She was begging, she was crying, she was pleading. Was this just because of all that she's overcome and finally she became like the golden child and now she's afraid of it being taken away from her? Or was she hiding something? Was there something more to that story?
No, I mean, when we're talking about North Texas, especially Richardson, the Collin County Police Department, they look for moments because they don't get very many.
So, it was giving that. It was giving that.
Exactly. So he put on his acting skills. And when I would never recommend anyone beg a pig to do anything, because if they pulled you over, they've already made up their mind. It's nothing that you can do, and you are a Black superstar. So that adds to the stripe that they're going to get on that badge and saying, "Oh, I'm the one that arrested."
That brought the track star down.
Yeah. And so going 120 miles, yeah, that's dangerous. However,
because if she had crashed into somebody I knew or loved, baby.
Listen, she at minimum, she should have received a ticket. At minimum.
But he said you're going to jail. He said you're going to be locked up in jail for a minute. That's what he said. There was no talk of a ticket.
See, that's the discretion. He could have issued her a ticket for reckless driving. Then he could have had her license suspended, because your license automatically gets suspended if you're going over going over 100 plus miles and you get pulled over. So he did that specifically because she's a superstar. If it was an average person, he wouldn't have went that route. And then to be so quick to release the body cam. When have y'all ever been quick to release a body cam? Oh, okay. You looking for a moment. And that's the reason why I say don't ever beg a pig to come to your rescue.
I love your use of the word pig this morning here on Jonesy. I always love your candor. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lawyer Bay Esquire. She's on Instagram. Give them your handle so they can find you.
My handles are Lawyer Bay ESQ on Instagram. On YouTube is the Public Opinion Court. On TikTok is the Public Opinion Court, and fan base Lawyer Bay ESQ.
Love you. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
Be careful out there in them streets, sis.
In these Texas streets, absolutely. Y'all have a good day.
You too, sis. Bye. I got to get quicker with my applause. Lawyer Bay, ladies and gentlemen. So I feel like y'all want to talk a little bit more about the Grammys. And wait, let me get back. Wait. The video is loaded. Which one? Oh, can you play that? For those of you that may or may not have seen that video, Sha'Carri Richardson, gold medalist, track star.
You're flashing them to get out of your way, are you? Let's give you a path to get past them. See what you do. $100, $101, passing the car at $101, $103, $104. County motor 50, copy 1050. Gonna be 429 northbound at Stony Brook, Florida tag. On a gray Aston Martin, unknown occupants. I would wipe that smile off your face. I'm Sergeant McDaniels with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. You're being stopped for dangerous, excessive speeding.
I understand my tire at the back is like literally on 29.
So you're driving at 100. Hold on. You're driving at 104 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour zone with subpar equipment, flashing people to get out of your lights, out of your lane, following too close, using every lane to pass everybody, cutting me off, passing a car on the inside shoulder with their hazard lights on. You're going to jail for dangerous excessive speeding.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that. My phone, I didn't even know my car was speeding.
That's why they give you a speedometer.
I totally understand. I communicate with you, sir. I really do not want to go to jail.
No, most people don't, but you got to think about that before you do the speed. I need your license, your registration, and your insurance. You were speeding.
So I was, and I totally didn't know. If you look at my phone, my buttons right here, they jump around. My phone is sitting here and it's slid on here. I literally see it's not even in normal mode, and I see that. My apologies, sir. Please, I communicate.
The mode has nothing to do with your gas pedal.
No.
I need your license, your registration, and your insurance.
Hey, sir, I really want to work. Can you really work with me, sir? I promise you, I am a law-abiding citizen. I have my ID, my insurance on my phone. There was no intention of me speeding today. I promise you, sir.
Is this a good address for you, Lake Valley Drive?
Yes, sir. I'm here. I'm local, sir. Please work with me. I promise you.
I don't know what work with you means.
Not work with me. I understand that I was at the ticket. I was shown.
No, like I told you, you're going to jail.
Please don't allow me to go. Please, sir. Please.
Listen to me.
Please, sir. I really.
If nothing you say is going to change that. You are going to jail.
Sir, am I going to jail? Like,
yes.
Sir, I really was not intentionally speeding at
That's
all.
even more scary. That means that you're doing things unintentionally on a task that requires all your attention.
Sir, please, I'm begging you.
You are going to have a little bit of time to make some phone calls. You are going to jail. I am towing your car.
Please, sir, don't take me to jail. I will do everything.
No.
I will do everything.
You have two options.
Listen,
sir, please. Listen, you have two options.
Please, sir.
The first option is you can either ride with me in my car.
Damn, that's loud.
The second option is you are going to go to jail in a cage car.
No,
which do you prefer?
I promise you, I don't want to go to jail. I'm right here. I have a team here. I have a coach, everything, sir. I was not intentionally doing anything, and I'm
You're not listening. You're repeating yourself and not listening. Nothing you say is going to change.
So I want to.
All right, so make some phone calls. Let people know that you're going to have a $500 bond.
Well, that begging, it made me feel away. And maybe that is what goes along with being a little grown and having gone through some shit. Because I probably would have been negotiating as well, especially with everything she's overcome to try and prove that she's not that other girl that we were being poised to think that she was. Never beg. You guys are saying Oh, y'all talking about accusations from that. Oh, come on. Stay focused, people. Get on topic with me. The begging. And then when you find out it's only $500, right? For me, that's when I start talking slick. That's when I start talking slick. Because if I'm going down anyway, I'm going alls out as I'm going down. You fat white fuck. You're mad because your salary don't even, one of my seats is your salary, and your broke bitch wife left you, you fat gay fuck. Like, I'm saying everything. I'm going alls out at that point. And I have. She could buy and sell him. Virginia is the same way. I got stopped one time and was just as dismissive as a trooper because you're doing too much talking for a ticket. Give me my shit so I can go, please, before I roll your lips up in the window. Yup. My spirit animal. Yup. That part. I'd be so dismissive, like, and that pisses him off more. You know what I do? I pull over. When I know I've been caught, I pull over and wait for them. And have the shit. Now leave me alone. And they hate that. This cop out in Englishtown, Peter Cook, who just got fired and denounced the scandal. He was allegedly stealing in Walmart or some store out in our town. Like, he used to literally tell his officers, when you see that radio girl, give her hell, pull her over, whatever. And every time they pull me over, they wanted to tow my car, they could never. They called the tow truck. Know what I would do? The tow truck would come. I'd give the tow truck, how much is it? $150. Give him the $150 cash. Next thing they know, he's leaving, and they're looking around like, where is he going? He was paid. You're not taking my car. You're not taking my car. You know why you're not taking my car? Because I do have insurance, and you're lying, but you're trying to move everything along so fast that by the time you say, oh, we did make a mistake, but it's too late. They took your car. No, bitch. And now you're in jail. And now you're no longer an Englishtown cop. And then Nicolo, bitch, you're next. Because I don't like you neither. I'm going to tell that whole story. Well, I love these platforms. Yeah, that's why I want my son going to school in Virginia. Commonwealth, if we ain't learned from Allen Iverson and how his whole life was almost wiped away by them Commonwealth people that don't fuck with us, we might not never learn. It's not what we think. It's what's in them. Vintage, stop with the files talk. His mind was made up when the black woman name came up when he radioed in. Exactly. Right. 500's easy work for her. Yep. Hit me while I was standing still. Jumped out the car saying people are working on his car. He has no brakes and nothing happened to him. I'm still waiting on a lawsuit. Giddy. This is why I'm not down with her speeding like that. And she was very much trying with her entitlement. I have a coach. What part of the conversation? What? That's her trying to leverage her celebrity. And the other side of that is that could have been anybody on the opposite, or anybody could have got hurt. And how many other times has she done it? But he should have just stopped all the small talk and all the insults and all the scaring of the, no, you're going to jail, and just get the shit. And if you're going to tow her or throw her in the cage, do what you got to do. But stop trying to have a fucking moment with a black girl. The underlying, white men trigger me, but the underlying condescendingness of it all is what I don't like. Right, me, you. Just take the ticket at that point. And you would think, yeah, she's young, but you would think with all that money and that lifestyle that she's been afforded, that she would be like, all right, I have lawyers to take care of this. And watch your mouth before it be more than a ticket. Take me to jail. I'll be out in 30 minutes. That's, you know what I mean? She doesn't have the... Yep, Commonwealth is racist. That I know. Hold on. Let me see where Mike is at. Everybody else on time. What's the little boy that we played his music last week? Y'all said his name to me, and we played his music. And he was at the Grammys, and he ran up to the stage. I thought he was the cutest. Yep. Because he's the one where he told she was going to jail as soon as he got there, which is why she started to talk right. Yeah. At that point, his mind was already made up. But that's that, you know, you young and got all the money, but you still don't have the maturity level to know when it's already been destined. You still think that celebrity is going to get you out. She should have known that he asked for a picture or autograph. All right, fine. Yep, come on. All right, fine. You just got to know. I guess she was hoping. But what's the worst that could have happened? Because something happened professionally? Was she fight? Because I felt like she's fighting too hard for a $500 ticket. Mike Shaw Monday.
What's up?
Good morning, flat lever.
She just put the square up. She was like, just get the fuck on. Just get on. What you talking about? What's going on?
Because you're cheating on me with your own well-being.
You are hilarious.
And your own, like, handling your business. Like, how dare you?
Who said just shut up and take the ticket? What's going on? What we got going on here? What?
Carrie Richardson.
What the hell?
Did you not see it?
No. What happened?
She was beaten doing like 140.
Oh, Sha'Carri. So
yes.
Yeah, the tracks. Yeah, she always got a problem. If she not going upside people's heads, her boyfriend's head in the airport and getting arrested for that, she always got some talented woman.
I remember that story, right? But she wasn't going upside nobody's head. She was begging and pleading, and it made me feel uncomfortable.
Listen, you can't do 104, mama. I know you be fast on the track, but you got to chill. Like you got to chill.
Well, you know, Lawyer Babe was just up here, and she's from Texas, and she said the area of Texas that happened, it'd be cops just sitting there with nothing to do, waiting for a moment.
But I thought she caught that in Florida. I thought she caught that ticket in Florida, which is even worse for her because a lot of people might not know you in Florida. At least in Texas, you got a fighting chance to play the card of, I'm track star. She got a lot going on. She got a lot going on. I don't know. I don't think I'm putting my cape on.
I know you not from, but I know you were in Texas for a while. Are you aware that now you can get arrested for videotaping in the airport? Or was that always the case?
That was never the case. How did they pass that?
Yeah. That was one of my questions for Lawyer Bay, and then we got sidetracked. But yeah, they're saying, because people are going there saying it's my amendment, it's my right to film. So then they have bigger, like vice presidents and stuff coming downstairs saying, you have to leave. You have to leave. You have to leave.
Texas always tries to do stuff like they're not part of the country. Like that's one of their boasts. They like, because there's some type of thing where they could separate themselves from the country. So they always have that cocky attitude that they can do things that no other state can do. Like but I've never heard that they will remove you from an airport for videoing.
Yeah. Because people are they're videoing, I guess, the maybe the real ID laws or something and trying to make content with it. And maybe Texas, they're also a very proud state. Maybe they don't want to be the example made of.
Oh, well, I mean, they're a very racist state. I love living out there, but their politics are on another level. Like their governor is a mini version who can't walk, a wheelchair version of Trump.
Say less.
So
how do you feel? I don't know if you heard this news. Stanley Richards has been named to run New York City jails. He's the formerly incarcerated activist that spent many, many years in jail. And I don't even know if it was an honest jailing, but he's become an activist and now he's going to be in charge of the jails in New York City.
I mean, he know him. I mean, if you want somebody to work on your car, you want somebody who knows the cars. I don't know, man. The world is so upside down. I don't know. I mean, he does know the corruption that goes on. He does know how he got his cell phone illegally. He does know how he got his drugs illegally in there. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to do all that. So maybe he also knows what the prisoners may need mentally.
Maybe. I think it can't go so wrong. Right?
Right.
There's got to be something to it.
Prison ain't going too well as it is, but Stanley Richardson, right. I gotta Google Stanley. What do you know? You don't know what he went in for?
Stanley Richard.
What did he go?
Wait, was that no, that wasn't the movie. Was that the movie that 50 produced?
Nah, that was the kid. No. That was Jay-Z. Who just popped up on the
But anyway, I'll give him a shot. I'll give him a chance because he might be pro prisoner life, like pro improved prisoner life.
Oh, he might actually think of maybe rehabilitating the prisoners.
Maybe
that might be they do have to come out eventually, y'all.
But the problem is why people gotta survive the system in order to be able. Like, what if he didn't survive the system? Why do people have to survive the system before being trusted to change it? Is what I want to know.
Well, that's the American way. We didn't write that book. They wrote the book on that. So the obstacles have to be jumped over, and justice has to be. First, you got to have the unjust system work against you. Then you have to beat the unjust system, and then you have to try and change the unjust system, which is crazy. But that is when you're black or brown. That is the job requirement living in this country, right? And do your job. But that's Stanley Richardson, all right.
Yeah. Look, I gave you something you didn't know about. Did you watch some Grammys last night? And where you been? We missed you. We want you more than a half hour on Mondays.
Well, it might be able to be more than a half hour on Mondays. The way my job schedule, the way I work that out. The Grammys were cool. I wound up turning it on when they were doing when Lauryn Hill was doing the tribute. When everybody
made it?
Yes, she made it. You didn't see it? I think you like it.
You know, I don't want. I saw the little boy run up there and get his award and talk about how he's been gay and how, he didn't know he would make it and how the mother came up and the father came up and he was very entertaining and I'm happy that he won. But, I can't watch rigged shit like that in the NFL.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up. They both coincide with each other. But it's the Grammys last year on CBS. They announced that.
Go ahead, Barry Weiss. Right up in her Weissness.
Trevor Noel said it's his last time. Noel said it's his last time hosting it.
Not Beyonce's brother, Noah. Trevor Noah.
Trevor Noah. I'm sorry, Trevor, because you're hilarious. I'm sorry, Trevor. And he did a funny thing. I watched it for like 10 minutes. I can't watch it either because I know what all behind the scenes is. Then I give them credit because they all went up there and said, down with ICE. ICE is bad. F ICE and F ICE. But it's just curious to me how none of y'all, unless I missed it, because I asked people to send me a clip, none of y'all conveniently said drop the files.
Because they're all in them. Everybody's in them. They tried to say Jay-Z was in them, and some of his Rock Nation clapped back real fast and loud and said, nope, that's somebody saying. We don't see no evidence of that yet. So you know what's happening now, right? They're doing a little scrub down.
Yeah, I already knew it. I already knew it. And I know people are doing backflips trying to justify Jay-Z's name coming up in the files. I'm not saying it is. I'm just telling you, I forgot just 2 minutes ago, y'all were telling me whatever comes out them files, whoever is in it, got to catch it. No matter what. We ain't want no questions.
Hip-hop is in them files. So
it's in them files. Now, there are people saying it happened in 96. And how could Pusha T be on there? And if he was 19 and nobody was grinding back at 96 and Jay-Z hadn't even popped off and da-da-da-da. You might be totally right. We didn't have that energy until now. So we start pulling up everything to look under it. Wait a second. No, that's not what we were doing.
Yeah.
When the files were coming out. But I'm not wishing it's true.
No, but we know hip hop is in them files.
Yeah.
What's the big overlying painful thing for me is how I should have known when they didn't stand up and protect the kids or protect our kids from the mass shootings in schools, and they could have. I should have known then how little regard, how little respect they have for kids. And now this shows me why, because you over there R-ing them and essaying them and kissing them on their mouths. This is what little kids are to you. This is why you don't care about the mass shootings. You don't want to protect the kids. You want to use them, to abuse them.
I'll go further than that. A comedian, I forget the young man's name, Josh, I forget the young man's name, said, how's the Catholic Church still in business? Like, do you understand hundreds of millions of dollars have been paid in lawsuits? Do you understand they were the original Epstein Island? They took their pedos, and I'll say allegedly just to say allegedly, because I don't want to get your channel in trouble, but it's already been proven in court. They moved their pedos to different spots, to new churches. They moved their pedos as if they were using their churches as like a form of tender. They went up there like it was plenty of fish in the sea. And they kept moving them. And this is all over the world. It was a ring. And that church still has plenty of power in our government. So this whole fallacy that we put kids first in this country has been the biggest lie ever.
Yeah, we don't. They don't. And now we're seeing how little regard they have for white women and white men. And it had to come to this, because now you want us to march beside you. No, you sent me thoughts and prayers and held up a little Black Lives Matter sign and wiped a tear. You didn't do enough.
But the panic, the panic is real, but it's been real. And we keep saying, when they cross this line, when they cross this line, what other lines do we want crossed before 15 million are up at the Capitol?
Right.
And
that's what it's going to take.
And please miss me with the Democrats. And listen, y'all know what it is. Y'all don't want this system to be crushed because y'all benefit off of this crooked system too. Y'all know what it is. Oh, thank you for the mic. Yeah, it's a big pause.
Yeah.
But it's going to take us to look like one of those countries that we always watched on CNN, that we pointed at and said, look what they doing over there. They just overthrew their government. I hate to tell y'all, we're going to have to break out this comfortable bubble that we live in.
Comfort zone, and realize that some of us going to have to die, like for real, die on the lines to get the democracy back. Now, is this country worth dying for? That's the next question. Because they ain't never been good to us.
Those are facts. I want to keep my life the way it is. That's a selfish motivation, but I want to be, I'm still waking up and, we worried about doing Amazon returns. People, there is ice, Jonesy. There's ice around the corner from where I live. We saw them. There are pictures that people are sending to each other who live in my suburban neighborhood where they're just driving around here. The comfort zone is it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And if we wait till they're knocking at the door, it's too late. But all these politicians want you to donate money so they can get their reelection. Hey, donate this money. And I love Jasmine Crockett. I love what they're doing. But you keep asking me for $10. At some point, I might have somebody knocking on my door and you asking me for $10 for your election. Somebody got to rally the troops up the way Trump rallied his troops up for the insurrection. But, so
I don't know. I don't know where to go from here with that, because it's one thing after another thing after another thing after another. All I know is we got to primary the hell out of them. And something happened with Clarence Thomas this morning or yesterday. Did you read here? There's so much stuff, Jones. It's hard to keep up. And let me tell you something. I got a TikTok problem. I got a social media problem, and I can't keep up with everything. What happened? Is he still alive? Is he breathing? He's alive. I think that he's either getting impeached or he's getting kicked off the Supreme Court, which I thought you could never get kicked off of, because he ain't the only one that needs to be kicked the fuck off. Yeah, we need a research department, Jones. Yes, we do. Well, kind of got giddy. And Kim be trying, because Kim came in with a bunch of audio this morning, but I'm not trying to get copyright strikes. But thank you, Kim. So they said, okay, Sha'Carri was trying not to lose her sponsorships. Then you got to leave the house earlier, boo. Got to leave the house earlier, because you can't make up for lost time and throw it all away.
She got a lot going on that we probably don't know about, but she got a lot going on. There's always something, and I wish her well. Like I hope
the reason we were bugging about it is because she was literally begging him. And I was saying how if she was grown and she would have been able to read the room and know that his decision was already made when he saw that fancy car. When he saw the fancy car and black skin inside of it. And don't think that, oh, people don't still think like that. You guys are still believing in racism?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So wait, Mike, everybody, we're mad at you in the comments.
What are you mad at? What are you mad
at? Oh, yeah. Lamont passed away.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bum, 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 bum.
Dun, 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 dun. He had a good run.
He did. He stayed out of these social media streets, and there was no baby oil to hear of with him. Clarence Thomas is accused of sexual assault from a male Epstein victim. The boy, now a man, has come forward. Okay, there we go.
And that's the same Supreme Court we thought was going to come to save us.
He married a little white boy.
And we all have a lot going on.
He was 79, Lamont. Yeah, it's a lot. Look. From the Super Bowl lineup to where is it? I had things. Oh, Don Lemon, Mike.
Donnie. They got him.
Is this good for him? Or is it the beginning of a war and now he's going to be a target? Or is Trump and them going to back off now that they see the people are with Don and not his Don?
Yeah. No, they're not going to back off. I think it's good. I think they don't plan things out. They just make moves the way a 17-year-old hothead on your block makes moves. And they decided they were going to show Don Lemon what it was, and all they did was make him powerful. Mm-hmm. All they did was make his show now on YouTube more powerful. All he did was gather people up. Now, would I want to be him? No, because he's on watch all the time now.
But that wife of his,
I was confused. I get what you're saying.
Wife, husband, whatever, partner, whatever they become when two of the same sex marry, I don't know, held him down, was taking video at Clive's party of everybody standing up and clapping for Don, had him out in no time. Sha'Carri should have taken a page out of Don's book. You don't beg the white man. You lawyer up and bail out.
But you got to be in them circles. You got to be built in them circles.
Yeah, that's why I'm concerned, because I'm like, she should be in the gymnast circle, kind of Olympic circle.
But
institution. Like the Olympics is an institution. They don't want no stink on them, just like the NFL and the NBA. So somebody in there should have been, should have something set up for them, a top dog law situation.
They should have. But even in that Olympic situation, she was never like one of their favorites. She was never like in the clique. Like she was always an outlier. When she got suspended, she got caught smoking weed after a relative had passed away. She got suspended for that. And, people were coming to her defense. And look, we all make mistakes, but she's never been in that clique. She's not, she has forced them to embrace her.
Right. Because she was a little, right. Then she get caught with weed or something and they kicked her out. And then she had to fight her way back and then she won.
Yeah. So not saying it in a negative way, but she got a lot of hood in her. And,
yes.
She got a lot of hood in her. She still got the block in there.
All right. So now, where you been?
I've been out here talking my shit, walking, telling these jokes and trying to maneuver. Pipes are busting under my house during the rain, during the snow, I've been out here, girl. I've been out here. The daughter's getting emergency surgery and been running. Just, so doing exactly kind of what you're doing, but in a different way. But I'm here. I can't be here every day, but I'm here. Ooh. I can't be every day.
You would have been here every day if we were still blocking it.
If they would have gave me a check, I would have been there every day. But then you got to keep lights on. Don't want these lights to turn off.
Which, by the way, our sponsors, thank you, Scarlet Reserve Room and Nationwide Bus Charter. Thank you for always riding and rocking with Jonesy and being supportive of the platform. People said they missed you. Somebody called me this weekend, and it pissed me off because why would you call me to say, oh, I heard Mary J. Blige was up there on the morning show, and she just kept making inferences about, oh, the energy up here is so positive now, and oh, it's this and that, and basically, you know what I mean?
Was the energy positive at the Diddy parties?
She don't want me to get started on her.
When the baby oil was getting passed out, was it positive then? Like, you should really thank us for focusing on what we knew about and just doing that. You should really thank your lucky stars that we didn't have an inkling of what was going on. We knew something was going on, but we ain't know to the level was going on. So stop with the positive energy. You ain't been looking for positive energy your entire career. I don't know why Jonesy just brought me in that.
Because she made a career out of keeping bitches sad. So now you want to be the poster child for positive energy and the hypocrisy of it all. And oh my God, Mary, you're just so, oh my God, you're just, because they brought her. Let me stop. But
go ahead. I needed to know more about this. I need to know more of the.
They brought Miss Sally Sunshine in to do the interview with 1996. I just got born when y'all was making the One More Chance video guy. Yes. Oh my God, Mary's still, oh my God. I'm just, you know what, guys? I'm just so positive all the time. And Mary, again, you made a career of making people sad, empowering women through shared painful stories. You're the last one. I mean, maybe you should be happy to be looking for positivity.
Yeah.
But don't infer that my shit was dark, because I was the one making happy songs while you was getting beat down and drugged up and doing all the things you were doing. And is positive, making your best friend of 30 some odd years have to sue you because you stole her artist? Is that positive? How you, Misa? Bitch, I'm not what you want, because the institution can't save you now. This is my shit. Ugly.
Wait, why we go to the ugly? How we end up?
Ugly.
We was talking institution. We was talking all types of friend betrayal. Then at the end, ugly.
I know.
At the end, we started face shaming. Ugly.
Ugly. Stupid.
I'm prettier than you. I'm pretty. Go ahead, say it, I'm prettier than you.
Because at the end of the day, I'm more pulled together than you. I sing better than you. And I don't allow anybody else to sing my songs. I don't know if that's a positive. Y'all about to go on tour. They like, oh, Mary, no, y'all about to work because she got to pay Kendu.
Hey, you tried to warn her about that. Let's keep it all. We went full attack mode on that man coming at you trying to take all your money. We came in defense.
Yep.
We were like, and for you, it was like, this is what women have to go through. This man is trying to take you down. You got a man who knows nothing about nothing, who you allowed to manage you, but it's probably from trauma, from allowing men to run you the entire time. You came into, so when you talk about that darkness, let's remember when everybody else was co-signing, she came in there. Exactly.
I support it. As a woman, but whatever. Let's look for the great positive energy new album.
Let's see.
That she gonna make all y'all dummies sing.
All of them.
Mike, I almost died, Mike. Look.
I saw you post a video, and this is what makes me nervous about you. Is when you post videos, some people, when you start posting a video, think that this might be a bit. Immediately when I saw that, I said, this shit is so real, and this girl's about to light herself on fire. How did that? There had to be something flimsy about it to begin with.
All right, so full disclosure.
There's something flimsy off the door.
Well, I don't know. I think it was my recklessness because I had a space heater plugged into it. So even though this is not a traditional extension cord, it is built, I guess, like a traditional extension cord. And what happened was, I remember the day Jalen left for go back to school, I came upstairs and the heater wasn't on. So I pressed the button because sometimes it cuts off itself. Pressed the button, it wouldn't go back on. So I didn't bother to think nothing. I went to the basement to see if a flip had tripped the circuit. Nothing was tripped. So I said, So I just went upstairs and pulled it out of this. Now this is hidden behind the bed, so I didn't see this. Pulled it out and put it in the wall. And it was business as usual. But then when I went to charge my devices, I'm noticing the next day, nothing's charged up. So I said, let me stand here and see what's going on. Baby, I put that black charger in. It said, like cooking. I said, what? And I looked and saw this.
Yeah.
And then that the imprint of the sheet and then the mattress. I said, I could have, this is why I know God is not done with me. And while I may not understand or may not be sure of when and the what and the how, because people have died in fires for less.
So now have you checked around the house? Have you secured?
We don't have, this was there's one right there. And yeah, but as long as you don't put a space heater in, you're probably good. So I can't hear what you're saying, Giddy. Put it in a private chat or pop up and say it. But that was scary. That could have been like.
No, that is especially in the wintertime. And we always see those space heater PSAs that they always have. And what you're plugging it in, Mary and Jonesy are always gonna have a rub. Oh man.
But she don't ever say nothing. She tries to act like she's above or she's ignoring, but clearly it's affecting you. You know what you stole. You stole my whole style, some of my songs, and Misa's artist. Because you're so thirsty to have a man in your life, any man will do. And there's some women like that can't move forward unless they have a man on their arm. So I get it, but watch your mouth. You're the only one talking. You just said she never says nothing. And here your dumbass always saying something. Yes, I know now that space heater is supposed to go directly into the wall. Lala from the Lord says, Mike Sean brings the messy out of you, Jonesy. Yeah.
First of all, don't ever. First of all, don't give me that power. Don't give me that power.
No, you make me feel safe. When Flip does it, I feel set up. When you do it, I feel safe.
Yeah, I saw the Flip thing. So is that going to be a regular thing that you got going on?
Yes, every Thursday.
Every Thursday, okay.
Yeah. And did you like it? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I liked it. I watched it, because I always know that you have this uncontrollable, unrational thing for R. Kelly. Like you have this unrational for R. Kelly that just
leave it alone.
Just irritates my.
Leave it alone. Yep.
Just I let it go. I like go.
I'm a cowbell. I'm a cowbell for life. That's it. So there's nothing anybody could say about him. I'm vintage for Nikki. Who are you that for, Mike?
I can't think of one person. I think if you'd asked me a while ago, I think I'm gonna give myself some credit. I think I'm actually breaking out this programming. I would have. LeBron was one of my faves, and then I started researching LeBron. I go like, yeah, they got you too. They got everybody.
Unfortunately. Oh, my next guest is here. You want to stay or you got to go?
Go ahead. Let me see who's the next. It depends on who the guest is. Wait, I'm kidding.
So stupid. I didn't even, and I'm like, wait a minute. You're so stupid and shady. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking all morning about her. She is the New York City Chief Equity Officer and Commission of New York City Mayor's Office of Equity and Racial Justice, Miss Afia Atta Mensah. Did I get it right? Wait, is she here?
I'm here.
Hi, good morning.
Very close. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for being here, sis. Congratulations. This is Mike Sean. Mike Sean is my forever co-host, no matter where I go.
Hi, Mike Sean. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure. Likewise. Real quick, if the box happens to go, it's not because I wasn't interested. Just because.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a high-paying job I got to go to.
Your friend Kyrie Edwards just left and sang your praises.
Oh, you have all the hitters on. I love it. I'm in high company here this morning. This is exciting.
Well, welcome. We're like excited about getting reparations possibly.
Amen. We're going to try and do what we can on here.
Do you really have that much power? He was telling us all the things that you're able to do, and that you have the ability to make people see things clearly now the rain is gone.
Ms. Jonesy, I'd like to take a step back and paraphrase that, the great people of New York, when they voted to create this office in 2022, empowered it to really force us as a city government to look at things through an equity framework. And so the office holds power, and the mayor has been clear that he wants to ensure that New York is both equitable and affordable. So while I appreciate dear brother Kerry talk about my power, this office has been merely a servant of the amazing people of the city of New York to try and make this the most affordable and equitable city ever.
What does that look like in day-to-day life? Like, what are some of the things that you already probably have come to mind to think of changing or advancing?
Sure. So I should say that each of the agencies for the city are going to come together to create within their own agencies what they think would be a more equitable approach to how they provide services. This information is culminated, and then we create and publish a report. And the mayor said that will happen within the first 100 days of his administration. Now, to your point, what does that mean and what does that look like? So we already have programs that are moving right now. For example, partnerships within the school system to encourage men, particularly men of color, to be teachers and to be a part of the education system so people can see folks like themselves. We have the scholarships that are for children in elementary school, right, to encourage them to continue with their educational pursuits. We have sustainability programs within the NYCHA houses for foods in food deserts. So there's already a host of programs that take into account that due to structural, both historical and current hurdles, that people start in different places in this world, and that government agencies need to meet people where they're at, and they need to do so in a comprehensive, intentional manner.
How difficult is it? Because it sounds like a lot, and I know that New York City is definitely in need of those programs to be brought forth. But how difficult would it be for you to choose which comes first, which comes second, which comes later on in the term?
Sure. So, part and parcel of this program is we're going to create and publish a report. Then there is a feedback period where New York City residents get to come and issue their feedback. Like, I kind of think of it like, this is good, but this is not enough. Like, how do we really push this forward? And so I'd say part of what we're going to do in making determinations are what are some things that are ready to go right now, to your point, like so that people can actually feel it. And then some of these are, immediate things. Some of them are take a few years, and some of them are long term because these systems weren't made in a day. And so what we're not going to do is lie to people and say we can click our heels after the release of report and everything will change. But it will give one transparency so that all can see about what we consider to be a better and more equitable New York, and then put us on a pathway forward to move with all deliberate speed.
Will any of your work involve the protection of the people that are losing their homes to deed theft?
That are losing their home to, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
To deed theft?
So the mayor said he's going to open an office, particularly in regards to deed theft, and we look forward to working in partnership, both with them, the Housing and Preservation and Development, and any other agency to make sure that there's like a comprehensive approach to dealing with equity and reforms of unequal systems. But it will definitely, to your point, be, the issue of access to housing is, yes, affordability, but it is also about services for housing, right? We just came out of, or in the midst of some cold months here, right? So what does it look like to receive equitable services in those communities that for a long time were last on the list? What does it look like for it to look the same in every neighborhood? So that piece on deed theft is top of mind for a lot of members of different communities in New York City.
So I appreciate the work. I appreciate the vision. And Kyrie made sure to tell me that we are in good hands with you. Yeah. What do you think that we could do, or they could do as New Yorkers, to help make your job a little easier to do so you don't have to go navigating and finding things? Is there anything? I know you guys are very hands-on with the public.
No, I appreciate the question. Well, first and foremost is this, right? Getting the word out, making sure New Yorkers know that what they demanded, what they mandated, and that charter reform is happening, that this office has been created, that we are moving forward, that we're going to create and publish this plan within the first 100 days. And then we need people to take a look at it, to read it, to make comment on it, and then to be just as vocal about wanting to ensure that this administration, that we keep our word and that we implement aspects of the plan. So I'm going to need folks to read it, to weigh in, to continue to push us, to continue to support. There has been a real targeting about what it is to be equitable across this country, some real blowback. And so we need the people of New York to continue to be champions for this, just like they were when they came out to vote in 2022. Don't lose that energy in 2026. We need folks with us so that we can release this plan and move forward on implementation of all the recommendations.
I feel like there's so many distractions though. Like every time you turn around, somebody's getting kidnapped by ICE and no one's doing anything about it. People are losing their homes. People can't afford the rent. A lot of people are fleeing New York. So we need something immediately to happen to let people know, if you can sit tight for a minute, we've got this coming or we've got that coming. Are we there yet?
So, I'll have some updates soon. This is me asking if I could hopefully come back so that I can give updates and so that folks can ask directly. But as you said, there's a lot going on in this nation right now. And for a lot of people, there's opportunity and hope in what this administration is saying that we're going to bring. And so part and parcel of that is we need ongoing partnership. We need folks to stay with us, to ask the questions, to keep us accountable. But equally important, I would say, to also lift up their voice when things are going well or they see something they like, to say, keep doing it.
Are you looking for staff or volunteers? Someone's asking.
I appreciate the question. We have an amazing team at the Office of Equity and Racial Justice. But as positions are open, people should continue to go to the website, and we are looking for amazing New Yorkers who want to roll up their sleeves and make this city better.
Can you give them a website to?
Yes, I can drop that in the chat.
Okay. Yay. Come on, drop it in the chat. Mike, you have anything to ask?
When there's so much darkness that's going on in this country, I mean, obviously we need action, but we don't hear hopeful voices. We never hear anybody who has hope. And I feel in your tone that you have hope. With the new mayor and the new administration in New York, have you been satisfied? Do you feel a change is coming? Do you feel the difference on where New York is going now? Like authentically, I know obviously you work part of it, so it's hard for you to say no. But has it reinvigorated you with hope? Because none of us really have it anymore.
No, we tired. Eric wore us out. And even when we hoped, it was party time.
So I will say this. I came to this work as an organizer. So my career started as both a public defender, a litigator for civil rights, and as an organizer. And I came into politics and now into government because I wanted to be a part of impacted people who were making difference for themselves. And so I would say the hope I find is an opportunity to work with like-minded people, impacted people who want to make this city better, not just in word, but in action, right? They say faith without works is nothing. And so I hope the hope we get is that some of the most important things that we can do is organize our neighbors to take action together. And now we have organizers who are in office, who are mere mortals. We're all human beings, are going to make mistakes, but have an intention of wanting to actually make this city better for everyday New Yorkers. That was the entire platform of coming in, of talking about our rent freeze, of talking about free childcare and fast and free buses, and an equity agenda that is just as strong and robust as an affordability one. So my hope is that New Yorkers will continue to act. I know New Yorkers will continue to talk, right? They're going to tell us when they see, as they should. My hope is that neighbors will continue to take action. Communities will continue to demand what they know they deserve on behalf of themselves and their children. And I know that it is difficult out there right now. I am a New Yorker. I have eyes. And what gives me hope is that people will say enough and continue to do the work we know that is needed to turn this city around.
Are the summer free concerts something that's not as important as what you're doing? Is that somebody else's thing?
Equally important, because the people need music and culture, but that is under the Parks Department.
Okay. All right.
And
Sorry.
the mayor just appointed a new parks commissioner, Trisha. She is amazing and wonderful. So I'm sure that there'll be a host of amazing programs that continue through the Parks Department.
Okay, good. I know you have a hard stop because you have a lot of important work to do. Just real quick off
Sure.
rip, what was your experience at Trinity College like as far as being a obviously a minority there and it being a smaller school? And I'm just asking this personally because my son is looking at schools now and I just wanted to know.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'm a mom as well. So I will say my experience at Trinity College was an interesting one, right? They had an amazing program for students of color, Black and Latino students who were coming in to a college that at the time did not have a very diverse population. And so we got to come up early, get to know each other, form friendships and bonds, and really build together. But I'm not, there were difficulties like there are anywhere. But at the time, there was a real intention about diversity of race, diversity of ethnicity, diversity in income, an Office of Multicultural Affairs that really tried to meet the needs of students. We had an amazing dean that came in. So there was intention and work there that was more than just words. And so I would encourage that folks kind of look into that and that we continue to champion and support programs that do that make people feel as if they are part of an open and welcome community and give space to voice when it's not. So I hope those programs continue. I'm excited that the city of New York, because of New Yorkers taking that action in 2022, we want to make sure that this is an equitable city as well, and that there is an office that is mandated to make that happen.
I so appreciate you in this position. And I look forward to having you call in to tell us everything that you're experiencing and everything we can look forward to. So don't be a stranger. Just let your people know when you got time, because I don't want to be taking you away and be the reason why things aren't getting done.
I will make time. I'm so excited to be on this amazing platform and for the work and leadership that you have as a Black woman, just having this forum and building it. So I am so excited for what you have built in our building. And thank you for allowing me to come on here to have this important conversation. And I'm excited to doing more with you.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Afia Atta-Mensah, your New York City Chief Commissioner of New York City Mayor's Office of Justice. Thank you so much, sis.
Take care. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Take care
Nice
now.
seeing you.
Stay warm. Yeah. Thanks for slacking there, Mike.
How was I slacking?
So much for research. You're like, I didn't even know I was coming on here.
I didn't know I was going. I didn't even want to. I didn't want to press her. I hope everything is looking up. I'm just surprised. Well, I shouldn't be surprised because something going on. I'm just wondering when Donald Trump is going to try and pay back New York for electing this mayor.
Please don't even, please.
I'm just wondering when he's going to use, because he's a child. He has to pay back everybody for not getting his way.
Right. But he's the one doing all the bad things, but we got to be paid back.
He's been very quiet about New York, which is strange because things seem to be going well. Obviously, I don't live in New York, but from what I've seen things seem to be moving in the direction that billionaires don't like. So it's kind of weird that it's been very quiet on the front. Like, how are they trying to pay back for not getting their way? Basically, they just didn't get their way.
I think he's given up that dream when he saw that whole thing he was trying to do with Tish. And the other guy, that it didn't work, that you burned too many people in the city that haven't come forward to talk about it, but that no, go ahead, go someplace else because we still don't like you. I think that the money in New York ain't really fucking with him still. Because if New York, which I hope, obviously I still have family in New York, if New York is the case study and this administration does well, and like the rest of the country, like in anything, in sports and music and culture, when New York leads something, other cities go, well, that worked. Then we need that type of leadership over here. Yeah. And that just starts feeding the fire of, okay, we can do this in different cities. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. Real quick. So Ebro and I'm out and Mero is in. Oh, yeah. I like Mero. I don't think people understand the grind of doing radio. And I don't think they understand the time constraints. I think it takes time to actually learn that. And it takes years.
but we're in a different world now. So I don't think radio is critiqued as harshly as it was when we were on all the time. So they get away with doing stuff that may not be up to par because it's not getting the same attention. Because the streamers have taken over, and in the streaming situation, which is what we're on now, has taken over. So you don't get the same 100% focus. You're getting a smaller audience now. But I mean, I like them. I mean, I've never heard them on radio. It's like seeing somebody funny and then seeing somebody being funny on stage. It's two different animals.
And then factor in the early morning rising and you being funny on stage at 4 a.m. and weaving funny in with current events and funny in with pop culture and funny in with a guest that may not talk but loves positivity but has nothing to say. Try that.
Try that, and then try when they come to you with the numbers every week, and they try and micromanage that what you did at 7:04 is what affected what happened at 7:50. It's a whole lot that goes on. And then having somebody who's never touched the microphone try and tell you what to do on a microphone, that's a whole nother. So enjoy that. That
part, right. That part, I'm like, I don't envy it as much as it would seem that I don't envy it. And now that I've gotten an opportunity to not have to put all my thoughts into 3-minute talk breaks,
which has always been I've always felt that was, even in radio, that was the most biased, racist thing ever. The white boys got to talk as long as they wanted.
And they have shit to talk about.
So when the Howard Sterns got to talk and the Opie and Anthony's got to talk, and in Dallas there was a guy named Kid Craddock got to do 10-minute talk breaks and do whatever they want. For some reason, they always felt like hip hop stations or R&B stations, you got to keep shucking and jiving because your audience doesn't have the capability to understand a long conversation.
That's what they say. And then they hire these black gatekeeping, non-talented program directors that they themselves have never done successful radio, nor have they cultured or trained a morning show or even any show. But because they interview well, they get the job as gatekeeper. And all they're doing is 3 minutes, not paying attention to, 3 minutes is not enough time to get the thought out. And nowadays, people aren't tuning in for the music. They can program their own music on their own devices. They're coming to us for the personalities. I mean, at least 6 to 10 they were.
Yeah, absolutely. But the companies that owned these radio stations weren't companies that were trying to help the community, and they weren't entwined the community. They were just trying to pimp the community.
That's it.
They were just trying to get them dollars and run everybody's pockets, and whatever financial gain they got for playing something 6,000 times a week, that, they'll live and die on that sword. So enjoy yourself. But I wish him well. I'm not trying to put anything. I wish him well.
No. I don't even know him. I just remember I think he was with some other guy years ago on TV. Yes. I think I saw him, but I'm not invested. I'm not invested. It's just interesting. I feel like that's my baby. You know what I mean?
Right.
And now it's out of the hands of family into strangers' hands, I feel.
But isn't that the case with everything we do? Like hip hop doesn't belong to us. Like everything that we nurtured and we raised, there was always, and for some reason, and I'll speak for myself. I didn't see how much hip hop had nothing to do with me and how much control the higher ups had over it. That I was just a pawn to promote. Right. And they knew when time was up, they were gonna be like, yeah, but we made the money off of this. We got control of this. The artists that you promoted, we decided they were going to be hot. So we're going to send them to you because we've already made the decision that they're going to be hot. And we're going to make sure that you have to promote and have to co-sign all of this. And it's gone. Hip hop is gone. It's somewhere else. And I still listen. I'm still knee deep in it on my own, researching music, new music and older music and stuff like that. But it's like the radio station. Hot 97 is not Hot 97. It's not the station that you were a main part of creating.
And the other station is not what they're saying that they were. That was another, use this one to bring them here, and then we do a quick bait and switch.
That's what it is. It gets depressing after a while. You're like, everything. Now we know what the old school, older generation were telling you about jazz. Them old jazz guys who were just like, they took jazz from us. They took it, they milked it, they whitewashed it. and then there was Kenny G. And you watch them, and even listen, we can say whatever you want about Bill Cosby. Even Bill Cosby tried to represent for that genre and tried to expose us to it, and was doing a good job because he was exposing us to certain stuff.
Art,
art, HBCUs,
a positive family unit,
a mom and a dad who were both strong people. There wasn't a mom being
professionals,
high
right?
professionals. Both had a role that they played in. Neither one of them was beneath the other one. Nobody was running things. They all took turns. It was something we had never seen in that dynamic.
Right.
But back to the radio thing, we were never given a chance to show those parts of us. We were thrown in a war, especially you. You were thrown in a war that we didn't know we were just pawns in this war.
That's it.
That's all. Just go out there and make us money and do what you
don't
do.
And don't stand up for yourself when the other station is talking about your newborn son having Down syndrome. We don't care about you that deeply.
We don't care about you that.
But don't talk about that here.
And if a parody happens to insult a culture, you can lose your job. But you can play songs over and over again that insult the culture of the person on the microphone, but because it's profitable and it's acceptable, you can do it.
Yep. When I say I'm so happy to have the shackles off and not be muted and not be look, this is the best thing that could have happened for us and probably the worst thing that could be happening for the institutions, because no one needs that. People were not even listening anymore. We might have brought people back and now they feel hoodwinked. But I have to say, come to the platforms, because that's the only place that you're going to get the truth until they start their nonsense.
And you have ownership. And you have now your marketing plan is your marketing plan, and it's direct to you. You're the product, you're the talent. There's no middleman. And
quick question. So when I was watching Ebro talk, he was talking about how they had, their little private morning show chat with him and Sideshow and everybody. And he said, Shawnee hasn't been responding. He said, and so I'm looking at him a little sideways, like, really? You were his oppressor. You were making hundreds of thousands and he's still at 50. Like, bruh. And I want to say, I said it earlier. I said, does Ebro really think that because I never approached him about how he manipulated and maneuvered his way into my chair, that I didn't recognize that? That I didn't recognize that deed theft? He stole my home. That is fucking deed theft. And because I didn't fight it, because I was pregnant and I didn't care, I was syndicated in Philly, but does he not realize that this is full circle karma? How he tried to slide Rosenberg in. Remember, he tried to slide Rosenberg in as a producer on my show when all along it was a bigger play at hand. Get him in under the guise of producer. So then when I slide in, you can be my co-host and we can bring in more people that look like us and think like us and as non-New York music as us. And we can take this thing, use the resources here, because the people in the back ain't paying attention to us. And we can just go. We can get jobs at Apple, no matter how conflicting that is. We can get jobs doing sports or WWE. We can just cake off. And now the gig is up and you mad and you complaining and you all the things. But it started from you coming in with dirty hands.
Yeah, you ain't telling a lie. There was a lot, and to bring up Shawnee. I mean, Sideshow is like he's in a predicament, and you know the predicament he's in. Like the predicament he's in. He's loyal,
but I told him you got to be loyal to you. When Jill offered him that job to come to Florida, and he was going to be able to be on air. He turned it down. He didn't turn it down because of loyalty to the station necessarily. He wasn't personally ready to make that move, but he has stayed longer probably than he planned to be in that position. So if he's not answering, maybe it's because, when you get let go, people don't necessarily reach out or They feel weird. They don't know if they're still supposed to be talking to you or not.
Well, and that was some mean programming at that station. They programmed people not to mess with people outside. And he's still from that era where when you're gone, I gotta now pick a team, the team that's cutting my check and has my health insurance.
Right.
And I'm sure is he still on the new morning show? Or is he totally out? Or is he still running?
I don't listen. I don't watch. Yeah. I wouldn't even know how to watch. I don't know. But I know that I saw that video of Ebro and them saying they felt all the Patriots plane arrived in San Jose. I'm watching it now. But he was saying how he felt funny that Shawnee was not responding like he normally does. Maybe he feels free enough to not be under your thumb.
Or maybe he's trying to figure it out.
And maybe they're right. Maybe it's not about you.
Maybe he's trying to figure out his finances and where this is going.
And are they going to keep him on with the next thing, or is there a new sideshow coming in with Mero?
Yeah. I hope it was. I hope they were joking. I hope it was said in a joking way, or
no, it wasn't said in a joking way. And they were always also talking about the DJ that they had. Some DJ, I don't even know. And people were saying how y'all used to clown him because now they said the DJ's in pictures with Mero all hugged up, like pounded out. So yeah.
But what is he supposed to do? That's part of the game that we grew up in. It's on to the next. It's survival of the fittest. Everybody don't have another $300,000 job on the side they can lean to, or whatever the amount is. Like, you really got to survive now. If this is your lifeline as a DJ, and those call letters are the ones that keeps you like in a powerful leverage way. You better hug on that new host. You better.
But now they're wondering, was it a conspiracy? And if there was,
what?
And if there was,
hold on, you want to know what?
I'm like, the hypocrisy of it all. Everything that's happening to you is what you did to me.
Wait a second. I'd feel disappointed if it wasn't a conspiracy. I'm like, that's the way it happens. That's the way when Peter and Cypher Sounds, shout to him, we're doing the overnights as we were coming in to do our morning show. That was the playing field. That was get comfortable because you're about to take over. Yeah,
I didn't even know that you're telling me something new right now. I didn't know they were doing overnights.
Yeah, they were doing overnights. That used to be, from what I was told, that was the
training ground.
The training ground.
It only started with me and Star and Buck. Well, with Star and Buck Wild. I was doing mornings with Scoop. And right. Tracy started that shit with Star and Buck Wild. And we didn't know what she was doing. We thought, all right, it's going to be an overnight show. So then it became, I guess, the training ground. But we knew that wasn't going to last. Cypher and Rosenberg was never supposed to be. Cypher was the flex play. Flex was like, this is my man. He's been here for so long. He deserves a chance at mornings. Because remember, they tried to put him on with us. Remember? Mm-hmm. And he sat in that whole week and didn't want to say one or two words to me, which is strange. I haven't heard from him since. Wow, interesting. Anyway, it's the same play. So, Ebro, how you saying anything? It just Uno reverse to you now. And people say that he stayed talking about Israel or Palestine. I don't know what his position was.
Gaza and everything, yeah.
But that he did that a lot. I wasn't listening. Obviously, me and Mike had our own show, but it could have been a little bit of everything with Karma frosting.
Yeah, it's everything. And it's part of the listen, man, I believe in loyalty. That's why my circle is it's a handful, but because this game doesn't value that. And it forces you into situations that if you stay too loyal to people in this radio game and entertainment game, if you stay too loyal, you will wind up on a short end of everything. You will, because they've made it like that. Yeah.
Because it's a bunch of talentless money guys who wish that because they listen and they, they're radio heads, but they can't do what we do. So they bring us in, and unless we talk what they want us to say and give the agenda they want us to give, then they get mad and recycle and get somebody else to either dumb you down, but they certainly silence the strong voices that are trying to lead you right.
Hey, and I think that goes back to the Don Lemon thing, that they made a mistake because they made Don Lemon's voice independently more powerful now.
Yeah. And it took him a minute before he started his whole YouTube social media thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like once he started taking it seriously and going to award shows and going, he put his journalism, he didn't just sit there in front of a screen. He did what he was, boots on the ground, and brought that there.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
The hybrid of it all. And so now you want to arrest people for what? He had no sign. He wasn't chanting nothing. He's there as a journalist. But you tried to make an example. That's what the white boys do. They try to make an example of our little black asses. And once again, you're the ones that got exposed.
All
right.
All right, girl. I got to get on out of here.
All right. Well, thank you for joining. Hopefully we'll get more of you.
You will.
I know you went past the time you said you would, so I thank you for that.
Dude, you ain't got to thank me. We're good. Philly Chica. Who's Philly Chica? 215. I'm going to punch a groundhog. Who told him to see? Where's Philly Chica? Okay. All right, Philly. All right, 215. All right.
She's good. She been riding with us since the reunion show.
All right, Philly. Good seeing you. All right, girl. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Mike. Mike
right,
Sean, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was quite a show. That was a lot. That'd be taking energy. Right? That was cool. Love seeing Mike Sean. And I know he does his own thing, but I'm selfish. I had other stuff planned. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I did want to talk about the Don Lemon platform versus ownership. Difference between having a microphone and owning your voice, right? So I find it refreshing. Him and Joy. Is Joy on every day? I find that a lot of the legacy media figures, such as myself, 34 years, if I'm counting correctly, are being forced. We're being forced out, and we're being forced to redefine ourselves, which is all in the man's plan. Because if I don't believe nothing, I know I'm here for a reason, because I almost was not. This is crazy work. That bed could have caught on fire, and I could have come home to embers. When institutions, stations, companies decide that you're no longer useful, silence replaces explanation because they think that we're dumb, or they think that we're so easily distracted that we'll forget about that person that we used to lock in to watch on TV and hear their perspective on things. They think that we're so short-minded and short-sighted that they don't have to give us any explanation, right? The pattern is power shifts reveal who controls the access. And power has shifted. It's no longer solely institutions and solely labels and solely radio companies. It's no longer that. Let me applaud that. That's a big deal. Oh, wait. What was that? Wait. Okay. It's no longer that. You control the platform. You control the conversation. I don't even know why I hit that button. Peace generation. Rules. Banan on the left hand side. So, in closing, in doing my work, right? I have learned that when the institutions decide the story, the real work becomes reclaiming your voice without arguing with them. Like, let them do what they do, right? Because I know and they know what I'm capable of. So let me go and capable things. And that stands for you guys as well. I see a comment. I see Wendy's name. I don't know what y'all talking about. What are y'all talking about? Oh, thank you. I don't know. I'm trying to get Mike over here. Maybe we can get him for at least the whole day on a Monday. Right? Thank you, Hummingbird. Hummingbird just made a lunch donation. You guys are light today. Lunch donations, dinner donations, Cash App, Zelle. You can ring my Zelle. Bring Wendy on the show. For what? She can't remember shit. What are we talking about? Seriously, real talk. What are we talking about? We have all watched her. I don't even know if I would feel right knowing that she's at a disadvantage. Like, how fun could that possibly be? It's like probably talking to someone that is on the beginning stages of dementia or memory loss. Is that fun? Would that be entertaining? Is that what y'all trying to tell me? I disagree. Never a Jonesy and Wendy show. Never. Never. Thank you, Bill Jackson. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, Hummingbird. I didn't know what they were talking about either. Jonesy do 7 to 10 and Wendy 10 to 12. She can. Thank you, Dwayne Brown. Now I say every day another great show, but today was absolutely another great show and also a great way to start the first Monday of Black History Month. All right, Black History. We need a Black History moment. On this day, Black History Month, February 2nd, a man by the name of Dwayne Brown thought that he was going to slide his ass out of the timeout closet into the good grace of Jonesy in the Morning, and she was going to be so forgetful, because you know she likes a lot of cocktails, that she was going to be so forgetful that she was going to give that man a big old thank you. She thanked him because she's that girl. But on this day in Black History Month, she did not forget. Dwayne Brown, stop playing in my face on this very second day of Black History Month. Philly Chica, I know I got it. Thank you. I get it. Thank you, Mr. Grayson. Appreciate you. Clip that. I'll be having to. I should have written down. She had said something at the 2. I think it was 2:12:19, and that was 2:38, 2:35 clips. Anybody else? Did we not touch everything? Is there anything else? Grayson, you're playing, right? Get the replay of the Miss Jones show on Radio Voice, New Jersey. What's that? I don't want to do nothing radio, child. James Kelly, right? I cannot be the Scorpio holding on. How you say it? Mo Betta is predicting that Chip going to get fussed out soon too. Chip, what you done did? What you done going and did, Chip? Thank you, everybody. It's a lot of people in here, and I thank you for that. I don't know if I was able to touch everybody. Hopefully I touched at some point, because we had a lot going on, because a lot went on through the weekend, over the weekend. So in summation, we don't believe that Nicki Minaj will get citizenship, but we don't necessarily want to see anybody be deported and separated from their family and the things that they've known, right? Grammys have always been rigged, will always be rigged, but we appreciate the fact that they shed light on the current state of affairs and they did not edit anybody out. Sha'Carri may or may not have been rushing to an appointment with a flat tire or whatever, but she over-explained. She will learn with time how to read a room and don't be begging no white boys. The city is about to get a whole lot blacker. Thank you to our new Chief Equity Officer. Lawyer Bay. I love Lawyer Bay. We're about to get reparations. We didn't get birthdays. I can't do the birthday song. I could say the birthdays, but I can't do the song because that's been keeping me from monetizing. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been working. We didn't get a sports report today either. So this morning show brought to you by Nationwide Bus Charter and our friends Nick and Isabella. Isabella is on the dance team at Iona. That is our girl. And Nick is straight off of the Matt Mostello fight that took place over the weekend. The original opponent stepped down, but he had somebody else to fight. And Nick will provide transportation. Nationwide Bus Charter, they like doing school teams, events. If you have a school band, anything organized sports, Nationwide Bus Charter got you covered. Just mention that Jonesy told you to go there. Jonesy told me. So I can do the birthdays, but I can't play the music. Let me go into my Tracy Scales. So wait, so you mean to tell me Eve got a Grammy 26 years after but it's not rigged? That husband of hers did not go and make some calls and make I'm not giving them my viewership. They are not deserving. I'm not. By the way, me and Queens Flip and Shampoo have a podcast. If you haven't seen it, you can go on YouTube. It's called Queens Flip and Friends. We did our first episode last Thursday. I think you can check it out here too. I'm a collaborator on it. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. You celebrate. Wait, I don't have February. Oh, wait, yes, I do. So we got to do Sunday. Yesterday, Garrett Morris would have been Rick James. Would have been Rick James's what? No. He died when he was 56. Wow. Garrett Morris is 89. We know Lamont from Sanford and Son passed away. Outkast turned 51 yesterday. Today is supermodel Christy Brinkley's birthday. Was that Christy Brinkley, the model that was at the Grammys last night with the hard plastic dress that had the butt indents around the cheeks? Was that Christy Brinkley? And Shakira, my hips don't lie, Shakira is 49 today. Tomorrow is Sean Kingston. Beautiful girl. We'll get to that tomorrow. Now, Here's where you can double down and make this show be about you. We have a feature called Local Love, where we highlight a local business, local meaning tri-state area. All you have to do is email me for the details if you're concerned. Our first Local Love is going to be Mr. Grayson. We're going to get that up and going this week. And it's a chance for you, an opportunity for you to explain your business, how it came to be, what services you provide, what products you offer, how long you've been in business. Do you like it? What would you have done differently if this business didn't come to be? And you get to promote yourselves. It connects you directly with consumers. They get to hear straight from the horse's mouth what you're about. They get to look in your eyes and see if you're full of shit or not and make a decision whether or not they want to do business with you. That's what we're going to be doing here. It's called Local Love. So if you're interested, email me at bookingjonesy@gmail.com and let's have a conversation. Also, if you are interested in sponsoring and having your banner on the show, staying or flashing mentions of your business, if you'd like to be a sponsor or an advertiser here, we also would love to have you email bookingjonesy@gmail.com for that. That was Heidi Klum. Okay. All right, thank you. I know it was a supermodel. And I wonder how she was able to sit, because it looked like that hard, tight leather. It almost looked like she couldn't walk in that dress, which we sacrificed for fashion, child. Vandy Vanson told me that. Okay. All right. It was a cute little body impression dress. It kind of, I don't know if I would have done that color because it kind of blended in with her beige skin. But hey. Right. How you sitting? I'm not. I'm standing because this hard plastic dress will not allow. Did anybody else have any highlights from the Grammys that they wanted to acknowledge before we wrap this baby up? Once again, I appreciate you all for coming and tuning in. And even if you can't be here in live morning time, going back and watching, but please make sure you're still here? I'm about to put this. It's a secondary use. Apparently not well. How you mothering? Apparently I'm not. What the hell? Lala. I can't make it up. Mm-hmm. So yep, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Cher saying the award went to Luther. Wait, what? See, now y'all gonna make me go back and watch it, and I refuse. Shout out to the Clips getting their first Grammy ever. Okay. So was this the Black History Month Grammys? Because are there not enough artists with new music that deserve Grammy? Like, I don't understand what's going on. The one that, remember we played the music and I was like, I like it. I know, I saw him do his speech. Thank you, Rave C. You shut up, Dwayne, and get back in that motherfucking closet, Dwayne. Yes, yeah, that boy. No, I saw him take his speech. I saw him. I love the way, look, he was on brand. He was being who he was. And y'all loved him. Don't you like genuine and not thank you? Oh my God, I don't know what to say. He knew exactly what to say. He had it in his phone and was right there with it. And his friend knew what to do and snatched this and yup. They had it all the way together. I liked it. Oh. I never can say goodbye. No, baby, I never can say goodbye. You ain't missed nothing, Grace. So you know who Dwayne is. You being shady. Oh, Leon Thomas one, yay. Let it fly. No Angie Stone songs for the D'Angelo tribute. I wonder why. Ooh, I never can say goodbye. No, I never can say goodbye. Oh, wait, was it the Love in the Middle hymn? Did he win? Love in the middle. Love in the middle. Let's stop for a little and love in the middle. Dwayne was the one that got cussed out last week. I'll tell you later. I can't. Whew. Wicked finally won. Oh, I know what this is. This is the reckoning. This is the DEI Grammy. Okay, all right. They want us to know that they're standing with us and that Black artists' lives do matter. I get it. White people's guilt. Come on, guilt. How you guilting? How you sorry? I never can say goodbye. No, baby, I never can say goodbye. When I one day I'll learn the words. You know I won't. Let it fly. Let it fly. Let it fly. Ooh. All right, I gotta get out of here. We got 7 more minutes. 7 more minutes. Because I want to give you a full show. See you in class tomorrow, everybody. Valerie. Hi, Valerie Marable. Valerie Marable is bringing us Will Downing. Yep. Will Downing is going to be on Jonesy. I could have never done that anywhere else. Remember, those who mind don't matter. And those who matter, they don't mind. Right? The end. You can hold that. You can hold that and keep that with you. I think I like the gong to end the show. Best spoken word album from Kim from Harlem. Kevin Ross. Did Kevin Ross win? Yeah, it was definitely the DEI Grammys, just based on what y'all telling me now. And now I'm glad that I didn't. Eve said that Ebro advocated for her to get her retro Grammy. Okay. He's also the one that didn't let New York artists be heard on New York radio. So is that the apology retro? Like, is that making up for all the New York artists that never got shine on their hometown station Grammy advocation? Anita, have a great day. I didn't forget about the shirts. It just was a little cold for the kid. Nick Music, they said that Pusha T is, if he is in the Epstein files, they have not seen him in the Epstein files. It was just somebody claiming. Mr. Crawford. Oh, I can't even do it today because I got to get to New York do this podcast. Tomorrow, definitely, the drop off. But thank you. Mr. Crawford, we had a busy day today. We had a whole bunch of company, all right? Shout out to all the federal workers that are working and aren't getting paid during this partial government shutdown. Oh, my Playing with people's lives. Y'all better primary their asses out. Primary them out. Oh, Puka Pure. I know Puka Pure. The owner of Puka Pure is a friend of my accountant. I think we were supposed to do business together at some point, or we did. She sent us product. All right, come on, Shelly. Tell your cousin Puka Pure needs to be a sponsor. Come on up here, either do some local love or be a full-fledged sponsor. And I can put the products on while I'm on here because I'm always Ash Wednesday. Yes, ancient Chinese secret. That's what that gong sounds like, right? Remember that commercial? So Star Gemini, the backdrop is only backwards on this platform, but to everybody that watches on Instagram and TikTok, it's front facing. So wait, you got to warm it up. Make sure you check out Queen's Flipping Friends, guys. Oh, he brought out in these streets now, trying to keep the, okay, all right. I just have that one issue. You can't expect clean exits when your entry was soiled. That's what I say. You cannot expect to have a clean exit when you came in the door on some greasy shit. And I'm not, trying to rub nothing in because it never feels good to leave. Well, sometimes it does, but what I'm saying is I am grateful to the people that I used to work with and that I was able to get a whole goodbye show. So that meant a lot to me. And obviously I meant a lot to them for that to happen because it never happens and it didn't happen up the street on 97th and 1st. Create your own fragrance. I like that. We can do a Jonesy in the Morning remote, maybe from her shop, maybe, right? Don't forget to like and subscribe, people, as you're leaving, please. Hit the like and subscribe. The subscribing isn't costing you anything. They're putting something in people's emails. He was just with Big Daddy Kane, Father MC, at City Winery. So he ain't far. I think he lives in Atlanta now. Telling people if you want to pay for a subscription, you ain't got to pay to subscribe. That's something altogether different. You hit the button to subscribe. The subscriptions they're talking about is when I have exclusive content. Like maybe I'll put the Queen's Flipping Friends episodes before he actually edits it. Maybe I'll put some clips for people that have subscriptions because that would make it worthwhile. You got to give people something exclusive. You just can't ask people to do a subscription to you just because. I mean, my milkshake does bring, but still. Pink Champs on the road to different cities when the weather breaks. Other than that, it's going to be right here, done in Jersey. Not in the house, on the set, but. Oh, you said you remember working with the Ice Queen. You and Star was always nice to me in 2000. Oh, okay. See, who knew that? Yeah, 97th and 1st in the square. That's so funny. I'm always milkshaking. All right, ladies and gents, that's it for me. I got to get out of here. Tomorrow, I'll tell you all about the podcast, and I hope it's a pleasant exchange. Because if not, I'm going to have to get Tarsha. I'm going to have to tap on Tarsha. I almost died. The end. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, Giddy. Thank you to the and yourselves.